Greetings, Patrick here. Cheetah Will View. Welcome to my pop-up here on a very warm Tuesday. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I don't know if we'll get any weather. It said tomorrow's supposed to thunderstorm all day, but I don't know how that's going to work out. I'll get this over here. So, all right. All right. So it's gonna be sort of like a working stream as well. Plus, I had some friend mail. But I'm gonna wait and see if I get a few people in the chat, and then we'll open it up. Hey, Jerry! Holy crow! Tom, Steven! Holy cow! You must have heard us talking about you yesterday. Your ears must have been burning. Me and Will Colazzo, we were talking about you yesterday. Greetings. Hi, Tony. How are you? Yeah, man, we did. Nothing but love for you too, man. Nothing but love for you. How's your injury? Man, I don't think I've seen you online since you posted that. So I guess yeah, you were healing. Still healing, yeah. Wow. I hope that fucker is going to jail for that. I mean prison for that felony assault, that's for sure. That better not just be one of those, well, we'll put him on probation. Uh-uh. He could have really hurt you. Wow. Yeah, that's really ridiculous. Really sorry to hear that. Yeah. Yeah, I told Will our story. I told Will my Jeff Kirkendall story that you and I that I did with you, and then I interviewed him separately. I'm not sure if you know that or not, but I did have Jeff on the show, Eight Questions with, and I got a chance to make it right for our first interview, or I put him on his heels like that. I got to make it right with him, and yeah, he's a really nice guy. I mean, he was back when we talked to him. He was a really nice guy, but I carried that with me for a long time. Like, like how do I make myself a better interviewer? And I always go back to that interview right there as being like, man, you got to be a little bit, you got to read the room a little bit better. And I think I became a better interviewer for that. And yeah, I enjoy talking to him quite a bit. And I'm doing a Polonia week too. I'm doing a that's right. I'm doing a Mark Polonia week in July. I got 3 of my reviews down already. I still got to get 2 more uploaded. But yeah, this is I think thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. Yeah, Jeff is very nice. He's one of the coolest guys out there. Yeah, it was bumpy for me, Jerry, because because when I came into it, I really didn't know, I knew there were certain things about movies. I mean, but overall, I really didn't know that much. And I know that looking back from when I first started, I know I'm 1000% better than I was. Now, the one thing I'm going to be working on now is over talking. So, um, because I tend to talk too much, and you guys aren't really here to see me talk, you're here to meet my guests. So I really have to work hard on that. It's been pointed out to me before, and I thought I was doing okay, but then I was listening to some past shows, and Holy shit. For a guy who doesn't talk very much, I talk forever. So today what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be sending John Henderson his link for Thursday. I'm gonna do that right here, right now. He's gonna be coming on here. Put it underneath the Doom Crypt, the Doomsday Crypt Army. I think I like that. I like that. John's gonna be coming back more to the podcasting pretty soon. Um, yeah, so I'm really excited about that because John gets some really good guests too. In fact, I've gotten a lot of my guests from John. Um, and yeah, so we're gonna be talking with visual effects guru Joe Castro, and we're also gonna be talking with actor Danny Hassel, who starred in Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun on Thursday. Plus we have John. So yeah, it's gonna be a good show. Okay, let me send this over to him here. I see the Gross Brothers are getting ready for Gross Fest. Nice picture from Tim. Him and Mark Polonium himself. All right. All right. So we're gonna send him his link. The things you do for the show, right? This is what we do. We get ready. As you know, Steven himself did the House of Horrors. Hopefully that'll come back. Maybe toward the fall area. That would be cool to see. Definitely. Oh, Trenchy. Oh, hell yeah. Hey, Eric. So, wow. Sure. Sure. Thanks, Steven. Feel better, man. All right. Well, I guess this is about the time where I send Trenchy an invite. Uh, Trenchy, if you want to come up and keep me company, I'd love to have you. Of course, I invite that to Eric as well if he has an hour to spend, but I think he has to go to bed soon, so I probably won't get that. But I was really happy when I was out there doing my library hunt today. I was excited to find a uh, uh, yes. All right, let me send you up here, Trenchy, because that way you can keep the conversation hot. That's right. Okay. Ta-da! All right. So yeah, we got some things to do. We'll get it. Like I said, we'll get a couple more heads in here, and then I was mentioning I went to the library today, and I was super excited to. Um, no problem. Russell's here. All right. We got a party going now. Russell's here. No problem, Eric. Just yeah, get a lot of cold drinks and you get us some water in you or some Gatorade. That'll help out. Yeah, nobody likes heat. Uh, I had heat exhaustion. I had heat exhaustion back when I was 22. I was working on a road crew. We were doing road work, and man, I didn't know anything at all. I went to take a break. I sat down. I had a cold drink in my hand. Next thing I know, I'm in the back of a work van, rushing to the hospital. I just gone. I was like, I had to stay underneath observation for like 12 hours, and it was just heat exhaustion. They just pumped my ass full of liquids and kept on having me drinks over and over. I just like I'm not thirsty. Keep drinking. So we're gonna be going, and Trenchy's gonna be here in a minute. We got friend mail. When Trenchy gets here, we'll do friend mail, and then I'm gonna start my new show. I got a show I gotta put out, so um, I'm gonna go ahead and take this down, Trenchy. I hope that let me know when you're up, so I can take this down. Um, yeah, I don't want to leave it hanging out in the open. All right. Yeah, we got some classic westerns today at the library. Man, I was really surprised. I was like, I walked in. Of course, the library people let us know. Say, yeah, there's a lot of movies out there today. First thing I always ask is, are they library movies? Are they library discards? And no, no. But there's a lot of them out there. So I asked her if she had lowered the price to the Gilmore Girls set, and because one of our friends there, reseller, she needed seasons 3 and 4. Actually, she needed 7 um, to complete her collection. And I asked the lady there, I said, "Are you dropping the prices down for that today? Because she had them down to like $8." And she says, "I'll take care of that." And second week in a row that she has done that. She's walked up there, and when we walked in, all the Vigoma girls went from the specialty drawer, that the section that she has, went on the regular shelf. So instead of paying $5 per season, she only paid $1.50, and because it's 25 cents per disc. And I thanked her. I definitely did. I said thank you for that. And I was so busy making sure my friend got the seasons. I grabbed the second one, the one I have. I grabbed it again. I have to take it back next Tuesday, and see if they'll let me swap it out. All right, Lady Valerie is here to join the party. Yeah, and it's just in time because I'm going to be making a room right here for our good friend Khalil Neal, uh, who is let's see, and he has made a series of films called the Tennessee Bigfoot. That's this series. He's made three movies. And speaking of, look, if you mention the word Bigfoot, you get a lot of action. I've noticed that too. And there's Horror Tuber of the Month, Doc Kaiju. Doc Kaiju is a Horror Tuber of the Month. That's right. Give it up for Doc. And by all means, head over, Doc. Put your drop your link down in the chat so people can go over there and vote for the people who you nominated, if you want to do that. And Trenchy's going to be here momentarily. Hopefully he doesn't have bad weather. I know last time we were dancing around that. Trenchy, when you get ready, just let me know. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link here. I mean, as far as remove it goes, just let me know when you're ready, and then I'll have you come up. Yeah, I don't like leaving it out there in the wind. Yeah, how about that? Doc Kaiju, Horror Tuber of the Month. I think that's amazing. Yes, and he nominated some new people, and go over there and vote for one of them, and also support their channels. That's right. Now, I did notice that when as far as the Doc was saying thank you to everybody, I noticed that Doc did forget to say thank you to one key person in making sure that he got his win. Um, and you know, we have to give it up to the big G, right? I mean, you know, without him, there would be no horror tuber of the month. Uh, and Mary, the mighty Mary Wilson. And speaking of mighty Mary Wilson, she pinged me today, and she is. I tell you what, when it comes down to hunting films, I'm about to ready to give her the crown. Yeah. Oh, God or Godzilla or both. Really, Doc? Really? Really? You know me now for about 3 or 4 months. You know who the big G is over here in this house. And it ain't God. Well, okay, sort of God. It ain't Godzilla. Where's our give it up for our boy Gigan? That's right. Raise the roof for the Gigan. Um, yeah, Mary has found some really good deals out there for as far as physical media goes, because we were talking about that today at the library and the resellers, and you know, we're starting to see, and we're sort of holding our breath over here now, but we're starting to see prices starting to come up. I didn't think that would really happen. I didn't think that would really happen until Warner Brothers and Paramount have made their decision on what they're going to do with their physical media arms. I think if they keep them, we're okay. Prices will probably, you know, be stable. But if they follow Disney and they decide to get rid of their physical media arm, um, you know, where they're not going to be making they're not going to be mass producing anymore, you know, or they're only going to, you know, instead of releasing, you know, a hundred movies a year, they might be only be releasing like 30 a year and raising the prices on those. Um, so we're just waiting to see what they do. If, like I said, I think that if they keep their media arm, will be cool. But if for some reason they decide they're not going to do it anymore either, like Disney, um, then yeah, we'll pretty much start seeing price rises. And it's all panic, of course. It's all a reactionary panic. It's like you tell somebody they can't have something, and immediately they want it. Trenchy's here for the party.
Hello?
Welcome to the party, pal.
Oh, hey man, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be making this sort of like a work party, and I got some friend mail. I was gonna try to open up during my library hall video, but I forgot to bring my
Mhm.
scissors, so I look like an oaf sitting there. So I thought I'd go ahead and do it now.
Oh,
Um,
see, well, it all worked out.
yeah, I got this. I got this right here. I got a box of the cheetah, and now there's a story behind this box. So our good friend Mary Catherine with cats, a very sweet lady, who has three wonderful cats. She does a lot of trivia on her channel when she does her live videos, or she does live videos, or she'll do, get ready with me, or or a lot of cosmetics. And but I can never
Mhm.
win on her contest because her prizes are always makeup, right? And
Mhm.
I don't have any reason for makeup, so I always ask her. I said, "Well, if I win tonight, if I win the trivia contest, can I have Smudge, one of her cats?" For some reason, Trent, she says no every time.
Yeah,
And
I
she said
wonder why.
Smudge is a hoot. He is really beautiful cat. She has three rag dolls, and he's a ham. He's definitely a
Mhm.
ham. Um, so she says, I'm gonna send Paladin something. I didn't win anything. She says, I just feel like I want to send the Paladin, the cheetah. So she said, so look to the mailbox. So it got here. Um, uh, So I thought I'd go ahead and open it. I don't know what she said. I just know I had a feeling, but I'm not really sure.
Mm.
I did when she told me, she says I want to send Paladin something. To me, there's just honestly, I mean, you send Cats a lot of different things, but for Paladin, there's only just really one thing he ever wants, and let me tell you, he tells me about it every single morning. And that is he loves temptation treats, turkey treats.
Mm.
That's his jam. All right, we have nice. So we got some catnip. I think this, you know, okay, so is that a Yeti?
I think so.
Damn, it's a Bigfoot.
Abominable snowman, yeti, something like that looks like.
I think all Yetis are I think all Yetis really are just Bigfoot of the Himalayas. I mean, a
Mm-hmm.
snow Bigfoot. She's gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
Bigfoot. So we got a catnip toy. That is awesome. Let's see. Okay. We got this is colorful. I wonder if you can see the colors in this. So we got a part of a puzzle. So I'll put this on the floor and he'll start swapping at it. Now, Paladin is different from any cat I've ever had or ever seen. Most of the time, when you throw catnip on the ground, the cats will just, they'll rub themselves all over it, they'll flop all over it, and then they get the zoomies, right? Paladin
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do that. He eats it. I've never seen a cat eat catnip. I've seen him rub on it. I see that, that romp, roll around, go crazy, swat if you put it on a little area, they'll swat at it.
Right.
If you put catnip on a scratch box, they'll scratch the box to shit really quick. All right, and we got loving flavorfuls. So we got a bag of treats. And I don't know what flavor this is. I think it looks like to be turkey. Oh no, chicken. Okay. That. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? I think we have I thought we had a note in here. We do. We have a note, and let's see. And we got another catnip toy. So
Oh,
I know
nice.
pretty damn exciting for a horror channel, huh? To show off cat toys and treats. Yeah, I'd like to see some of the bigger channels do this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something different.
Yeah. So Ken Sledge from Sledgehammer Horror, he did a top 824 tier list. Yeah. It's like, what the hell? What the hell? Yes. Russell is saying yes. Yeti is a winter Bigfoot. I don't know. I'm thinking. He's got that 824 list, and then I got cat treats. I think I'm ahead of the game. He was talking about this one movie and said, "Hey, man, I got to recommend one for you, man. I got to recommend this movie called Captive, because they're gonna watch Prisoners, with Hugh Jackman and I think Jake Gyllenhaal, and so I popped in there while he was doing his A24 list, and they're talking about doing the Prisoners watch along, and I said, "Hey, man, I got a movie to recommend you. This movie called Captive." And it stars Ryan Reynolds and Scott Speedman and Rosario Dawson, or either her or maybe it might have been Zoe Saldana. And I said, "Man, it's a great movie. It's actually my favorite Ryan Reynolds performance. I mean, it's really good. He's not playing himself. He's being pushed to play, play a good." Uh, of course, I had to tell him that while I'm ripping on him for having fun with A24, that the movie Captive is a A24 movie, and I just realized that when I told him this, and I'm like, wow, that didn't go over so well. Here I am supposed to be ragging on this, and I'm going like, yeah, this is one of the best movies I've seen. Um,
Right.
uh, Dear Patrick and Sweet Paladin, that's right. I hope these dummies are fun. Love Mary. Mary Catherine loves cats. Thank you so much, Mary. And I'm sure he will once I shake the bag. Once I shake the bag, he's going to come running. Now, do you have pets yourself, Trenchy?
Yeah, quite a few.
Nice. What do you got? Dogs or cats?
Cats.
Nice.
Lots
Now,
of cats.
now you have cats. How many do you own?
I don't know. There's quite a few at the moment.
Oh, because they're outdoor cats. They're barn cats.
Well, some are inside, but they're in different sections of the house, and then sadly, quite a few of them have died. But then they keep having babies and stuff. I don't know.
You could do this. I mean, it's just a mere suggestion, just a suggestion. Um, but
Yeah,
if you could find a rescue, or you could talk to your vet and say, "Hey, here's my problem. I got all these cats that I did. They're not mine. They just people have been dumping them here, or they're having kittens over and over. I don't really want to keep doing that. Is there any way
yeah,
possible that we could work on? Because I know some doctors will
yeah.
will
No,
will
I
do a
agree with
review.
you. I'm not in charge of that. There's other people, but they said they were going to do that. But then I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's not really in my
Most
control.
Yeah, most vets will actually not in your case. I'm just stepping outside the box here. Some vets will actually work with rescues, and they will do a
Yeah,
neuter for as low as $20-$30, because the vets know, just like everybody else, that charging somebody, I'll neuter the cat for $300. You're not solving the problem. You're only contributing to it, as far as the vet goes, by not being proactive. If someone comes up there and says, "I have a colony here, and I need help, into getting it neutered, so I don't have like going from 50 cats to 500 cats. Can you help me?" It's in their best interest to do so. It really
yeah.
is.
Because the
Um,
cats can be crazy, dude. These cats have done some crazy stuff. We had
yeah, we
one
have.
cat. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say we have one more friend now. This is from Madam Cadaver, from the Madam Cadaver Horror Review group on Facebook. I'll put the link down below. And yeah, she has sent us another goodie. I have no idea this was coming. I have no idea what's in it. Um, all I know is that she's done this so far twice, and I'm just amazed at how well she knows my movie taste. Because that's really hard to do. It's hard to do someone's movie taste if you don't know them that well. Um, and so
Yeah.
I think it's really cool though that she takes the time and effort to, because it's fun. But it's expensive. There's one disc in here, and it's $5 to mail. $5 to mail.
Damn.
What happened to our postal service? All right. Yeah, I didn't bring my scissors. I didn't do my scissors when I did my haul video. So I couldn't do these openings back when I was doing that. When I was doing my recording. Man, this thing's in here good. All right. Ta-da. Okay. And we have a lovely pen. Lovely pen, full of skeletons. And we have a nice note from Madam Cadaver herself. Thank you for your ongoing support. It's fun.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for your ongoing support in the Madam Cadaver group. From Madam Cadaver and her lovely assistant Christy, and she sent us another multi-pack mania. And wow, we were just talking about this yesterday. When Will Colazo was here yesterday, and we were talking about wow, that's some timing. So she sent us a 4-film collection of Resident Evil.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like
So
some of those. I know those movies aren't true to the game, and I know people shit on those movies. I like the first few. The first few were fun for what they were.
right. I love the first two. The second one, the Resident Evil Apocalypse. Holy cow! If you ever get that on a standalone, make sure you get it with the special features included because they have a
Hmm.
cast. They have a cast and crew commentary. That commentary is fire. It is so much fun to listen to. Whenever I watch that movie, I really don't watch the movie because I've already seen it. I just go back to listen to the commentary because it's so funny. Um, they had a ball doing it. And you know what's
Is
funny is
that the
I
one
didn't.
with Mike Epps and Nemesis?
Yes,
Because
yes,
that's my favorite one.
yeah. After Apocalypse, with her and who was the girl that played? I want to say Sienna Guillory, Mike Epps, Odette Frere from the Mummy series. And
Hmm.
you know who didn't realize who was in this movie until like after I knew who he because when I saw the movie I didn't know who he was,
Hmm.
but now I saw him and I'm like, oh, I don't know who he is. But that was like I realized now that was the first time that I watched Jared Harris. I had never seen Jared Harris. I didn't know who he was, but that's the first movie I ever saw him in, and he's definitely one of my favorite actors. Wow, this is cool. Thank you, Madam Cadaver. This is really neat because I don't think I think I have one on. I'm not even sure if I have one. I have two. I know for sure I have I know I have Apocalypse. I'm not sure if I have the other three or not. Okay. Ta-da. So how the hell have you been, Trenchy? I'm going to let you talk for a little while I start my building my interview for Khalil Neal.
Oh, you're good. I'm okay, thanks. How
Sounds
have you been?
I made it through my week. Um, this is the week that it's the hardest one for me every year. I dread this week more than any other time of the year.
Hmm.
Um, it's the you know so um, so I made it through okay. Stayed busy,
Hmm.
and that I'm glad I have people who help me do that because alone with my own thoughts is it's a messy place to be. Um, yeah, I'm so happy to get this young artist come back. Khalil Neal, we had him and his father on it about a year and a half ago, and
Oh.
maybe 2 years ago. He was only 17, so him and his dad came on, and we also had a filmmaker Michael Cassie with us. Um, that was well, we had Michael with the second one. We did a watch party. Um, but that was so much cool. It's one of the best times I've had on the show. But he is a young filmmaker. He's created his own franchise, the Tennessee Bigfoot franchise. He's a pre-production for number 4, and he also
Hmm.
wrote a novel. And what I mean wrote a novel, I'm talking about one of those you see in the Barnes and Noble that are like this big.
Oh.
I mean, he wrote a real book, not a, like a
That.
yeah. I was like, because he's showing off the book, and I'm like, you wrote that. That book is freaking huge. Um, yeah, he wrote it. It was amazing. So I'm super glad to be able to come back and talk to him again and catch up with him because he was definitely one of the nicest kids I've met. And so he's going to come and talk to us on Friday night, June 12th, at 8 o'clock. I know I don't do very many 12 o'clock shows or Friday shows, but I was sort of I got sort of locked into it.
Hmm.
All right, now I just need to go find his page. Grab a picture of
That's
this.
pretty cool.
I
Um,
think so too. I mean, it's pretty amazing for him to be, someone that young to come out there and just, crank it out,
yeah,
Um,
because it's hard to write a book. I mean, I've wanted to do that, but that's easier said than done. Like that's a big leap. Um,
yeah, the book he wrote is Bound to Destiny.
mm,
And like I said, it is a legitimate sized book. He put out it came out on hardback, and in fact that's the picture I'm going to use for him because it just came out this year. But yeah, that's the picture I'm going to use for this for my thumbnail. Um, is the one with he's holding his he's got his book in his hand and he's wearing a Tennessee Bigfoot shirt. So that's got to be the
mhm.
perfect picture to hype him up for.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right.
No, that's pretty
Um,
cool.
it is cool. So, it's really interesting. We had guest Will Colazzo on
Hmm.
yesterday, and it was. I gotta say, the guy's a prophet. Um, he's a prophet because we were talking about the world of indie filmmaking, and like when I'm in on Facebook. I'm in different groups, promote and whatnot, and a lot of filmmaker groups. And but I don't ever really stay. I don't really stay in the groups. I come in, I promote, and then I get the hell out, right? So I'm not in there. I don't see what goes on. I don't see really what's being said. I'm not gonna be able to.
You're just a messenger. You come in, you spread the word, and you get out of there before hell breaks loose.
Right, because well, I didn't even know there was hell breaking loose, Trenchy, because don't
There's always hell breaking loose, dude.
so
Everywhere, everywhere. You can't escape it. And look, I've been involved in drama too that I didn't want to be involved in, but
yeah,
I find
yeah,
myself getting in there too. But like Jesus Christ, it's like everywhere, man.
yeah. It was crazy because he's sitting there saying how there's a lot of drama, and I'm like, I pled ignorance, like I didn't know this. I didn't know there was so much drama going on. Um, uh, uh, oh, okay. Everybody say hi to each other. Good. Yep. Uh,
Hey there,
oh my
everybody in the
God.
chat. Russell, Kaiju.
Doc is sitting here saying that his mom's name is Valerie. That's Lady Valerie's name too. That's awesome. So
Oh,
so
Valerie.
yeah, we're here. Here we are. We're sitting here talking about, and he starts talking about how like there's a lot of to me, if it's competition, that's one thing. It's like if we're competing with each other, supporting each other, like trying to get movies out because the goal is for everybody to make a movie and produce it, make it, make it so the public can see it. And then I got it like a little education yesterday. He's sitting there going like, um, Doc's sitting there saying, I live near the Hellmouth in Massachusetts. It's called the Bridgewater Triangle. Uh-oh.
Mm,
I'm getting some Buffy vibes. So
yeah.
he starts telling me about, like there's a lot of, everybody has a sense of community. And I'm going like, man, I had no idea. I was sitting there going like, my mind was blown, right? And I'm like, I didn't
Mhm.
know it was that bad. I have no idea it's this bad because like I said, I just come in there and say, hey, come listen to come listen to Will Colossal. Him and I are gonna chop it up. I'm not really in there, so I'm not sitting there seeing what other people are saying about each other. I'm just not there long enough. But after being and Will had our discussion and stuff like that, and it's he just says it happens. It happens to people. People get mad at a lot of times. I think it's driven by envy. When you see somebody
Pride.
actually putting, I mean, when you're spinning your wheels in the mud trying to get your movie made, and you're just having a hard time doing it, and then you look around and you see somebody, a peer of yours, get out a movie. I think I think it's safe to say, and it's not bad to say, that there's some professional jealousy. And quite
Hmm.
honestly, that may not be necessarily always be such a bad thing because it'll inspire the other filmmaker to, maybe redouble his efforts. Like, okay, I'm gonna do another fundraiser. I'm gonna go out there and set up a lemonade stand, to get a few bucks. Whatever it takes. Um, so I don't see it, today,
Hmm.
completely unrelated, outside any group that I know of. I know there was a former guest that came onto the show, and he was him and another guy. They were going at it, and I'm sitting there going like, okay, so that is so
On your
weird.
show?
Like, no, no, they're going at it on Facebook. They're barking at each other, and
Oh,
I never
so
seen
two
that before.
people you knew were going at it that you were
One
like,
one person,
knew both of them.
one person I know. Yeah, one person I know, and he's going at it with some other guy who I don't know, and they are
Hmm.
going at it, and I'm going like, this is the full blown drama that Will and I were talking about the night before that I had never seen, but he said that it was out there, and then the next day I see it, and I'm going like, oh, it really does happen.
Universe,
Um,
man.
man, it's weird. It was so weird to walk in there and see that. It was like, uh, yeah, okay, you know, um, I don't know, man. Like I said before, it's maybe it's a little bit professional jealousy, like sometimes there, it's an interesting world. Um,
Oh,
I
for
like
sure.
talking to the people that are in it, man. But I really don't want any, And he was concerned. Will was concerned because he had he was very, and I want to give him a shout out for this. Thank you so much, Will. He was really concerned because we chopped it up yesterday, and we dropped some names, we dropped some scenarios, and I told him before the show, I says, we're gonna chop it up, we're gonna, no holds barred, and we sort of did that, within reason, of course, not to hurt anybody's feelings or, you know, and but he was worried. He was worried that I would become a target for this person.
Yeah,
And I'm
been
going,
there.
and the thing is though, it's like I told him, I says, been doing this a long time, got over 600 interviews. I've never had anybody come at me.
Hmm.
I've never had anybody come at me. I've had maybe one or two comments, but no one sit there and like, yeah, you're an asshole and fuck you and the horse you rode in on. No one's ever done that. No one's ever just like, put out a podcast sitting there saying, yeah, that guy over there at 8 questions with, what an asshole. I've never had that. No
Hmm.
one's ever even cared enough to do that. Uh, all right, John. That's right, John. John Henderson from Doomsday Crypt, the Doomsday Crypt Army coming in hot on Thursday. We have John's going to be here with us. Uh, Visual effects guru Joe Castro is also going to be here with us. Cannot wait to chop it up with him. And of course, Danny Hassel, who was one of the stars of the Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. He'll also be here, and the four of us are going to be chopping it up on Thursday night. Um, this is going to be my second member of the Nightmare on Elm Street cast that I've interviewed, and my second one that I've gotten help with from John in landing. And thank you again, John, for that. Of course, the first one was Beatrice Popple, and lovely lady. Hopefully, she is working. She's working hard. Um, oh, Oh boy, let me fix that, John. Holy shit, that would have been a disaster. Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Thanks for
you're
letting me know.
busy.
Man, I would have been totally fucked if I would have did that. Wow, thanks, John. If I would
Look
not
at
have
your
done that.
lives.
Let's see. Yep, I have it for supposed to be the 28th. Son of a bitch. That's terrible.
I mean, you are like really busy. Like,
Yeah, I
I don't
really
know how
am.
some of you guys do it, man. Because I used to like do a lot of like YouTube stuff like this, but I got a little burnt out. I can still do a lot of stuff at once, but I gotta slow down a bit, take some breaks and stuff. Like
Oh, I'm so
you and
sorry,
some
John.
other
Yeah,
people I
I
watch,
have
it's like
to.
you're on like every day. I'm like, holy shit! Like these guys are impressive.
Yeah, I'm totally sorry. I put down the 28th on my calendar and everything. But then again, it's the week. It's my bad week. I do have an excuse. I was very distracted this week with it being my week, so I'm really sorry about that. But I'm fixing it right now. I'm fixing it right now. I have not done any advertisement for it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I understand. Whoever we can get. If not, we'll have to reschedule. But yeah, I did I've been telling everybody Thursday. Oh, biscuits. Let me go back to my channel and fix that over there too. Oh, that's not that. Yeah.
It
Sometimes
happens.
sometimes I don't think my head would stay in my body. You know, if it wasn't for an iron on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. See how my okay, that's probably when I fixed it just now. Well, my face, my it changed. It was on the 28th on my YouTube. Um. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so it was it was the 27th on my invite, but it was 28th on my YouTube channel. Oh, okay. So I had half of it right. StreamYard had it for the 27th. YouTube had it for the 28th. God damn. Oh. I totally understand if they I totally understand if I drop the ball. Can I do tomorrow? Yeah. I guess we could in theory. Um I'll go back and change it again. Let me go change it again. Um
You don't have any other shows tomorrow, right?
no, I don't have a show tomorrow. Okay, so what I can do is I can change it for tomorrow. And then I go over to the over here and change it to. Okay. Let me go ahead and go into the description box. Yeah, it says here, please join us on Thursday, May 27th. Yeah, so yeah, I was thinking about Thursday all this time, but I can fix it. Okay, yeah, I can fix it. Well, the good thing is I haven't done my run yet. My promotional run, I always do that like the night of or the day of.
Hmm.
And yeah, if I had already started promoting it, like sharing it out, I would have been totally screwed. Uh, but I hadn't done that yet, so we are good to go.
Yeah, you got on top of it.
Yeah, well, thanks to John saving my ass again. All right, all right. Man, you got to try to come over and hang out with us on tomorrow, Trenchy, for sure, man. Daniel's
I'll
house is
I'll
still going
try.
out there.
I'll see what I'm doing at the time, and I'll like if I'm around, I'll pop in and say what's up in the chat.
Sure. Let's see. Yeah, tomorrow, John. That's fine. Tomorrow's good. Tomorrow's good. Yep. Let me go to my Facebook page and change that out too, because that link is still going to be showing for that's still going to be showing for the 28th. Oh, Christy Adams is leaving Facebook. It looks like crap. Yeah, I understand. Okay, let me go here to my page and yeah, I need to. I was talking about the interview with Will. So he was really concerned. So I told him we never had anybody come at us, and but I wanted to give him some breathing room. So I said, what we'll do is we'll just take it. We'll take the show, because he wanted to edit it, and I don't like editing at all. I really don't. To me, editing is censorship for me. So what I did was I said, here's what we'll do. Nobody's gonna come at us. Nobody says stupid for one thing, and nobody cares. They don't care. They don't care about.
Because why would they go at you for interviewing somebody and what they said, and you were just playing? There's no reason for them to go after you in particular. They could go back after that person. Yeah, I'm
They
not
shouldn't
saying
go
they
after
should, but
anybody.
I'm just saying like that's more. I feel like an option than them going after you. I feel like that would just be silly, and then they're just gonna look like bullies. Well, either way, they're gonna look like bullies, but you know.
Yeah, and the thing is, so it's like it's like I already blocked this guy. I knew who the guy was. We were talking about, but I blocked this guy months ago. I got I've been it was one of the few times I caught a heads up. Somebody was warning out the community about this guy, and a lot of people just blocked him. They were like, I'm not about the drama. So here it is. Talk to the wall, talk to the hand, and so that's what we did. We just went ahead. I blocked him months ago, and then and so I'm not worried about it at all. Okay, John, I fixed it on Facebook as well. So for tomorrow, so I'm now going to pin that up there, up on the Facebook page. I was just like, I'm not worried about it. But he was concerned, so I said, I'll tell you what. Here's what we'll do. I'm going to go ahead and take it out, take it down, and hide it for 2 weeks. And I said, he's not going to come at me at all. I'm not worried about it at all. No one's ever done it before. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Oh my gosh, John knows this shit. John knows this shit too. I had Will Palazzo on yesterday, John, and him and I were just chopping it up, man. He's a great guy. Will is a great guy. Really enjoyed talking to him, and man, we were really rooting for success for him. He's got a movie come out on Lionsgate on June 30th, and he, James, greetings, sir. Look at all these podcasters coming out of the woodwork today. So and James is another one as well. Nobody ever comes after us. Nobody does. John. I mean, no one's. I've never seen anybody go after John. I've never seen anybody go after Steven, as far as the podcast go. Certainly, no one ever going after the Friendly Men. So I said we'll just take it offline for 2 weeks, see what happens. If the guy who we talked about, if he feels like he wants to, I won't know about it because I have him blocked. He'll be sitting there ranting and raving to space because I'm not there.
He'll
And
have to
so
make like another account or something, but it's just like,
it's
what's
easy.
the point?
Yeah, I just think to me it's like I'm watching my buddy today, and he and this other guy are going off on each other, and I'm like, I just that's one thing I'll tell you right now. I do not get involved in that. That's not my place. It's like I'm watching this guy. I like him. He's been a guest on the show. I'm not putting my 2 cents in for shit. It's not my business. As far as that goes. Um, uh, see, John mentions all too well why slow down on that aspect can be really toxic. We have been so blessed. We have been so blessed in that respect. Probably because when people come over to watch us do our show, there's only like 5 or 6 people in our chat. There's like I told that to Will. I says, dude, we are too fucking small for anybody to care. It'll be one thing if I had 100 people in a live stream. Yeah, I expect that. I expect to see trolls. I expect to see the drama. But we get like 6 to 10 people per show, plus playbacks. No one cares. No one cares enough to come over here. We had a really good show yesterday. Yes, yes, John, it is absolutely. That's God damn. See, John knows. No, John knows too. Yeah. And I don't see how anybody gives this guy any sort of power at all. It's like, to me, it's like as soon as he pops up, you hit the block button. He can make 50 accounts for all I give a rat's ass. As soon as he shows his colors, you hit him he hit the block button. Now he's talking to nobody again. He's talking to the either. So
yeah, I don't
oh
think
my
I even
God,
know who
no.
this guy is because
Oh
I
my
didn't know
God.
anybody bothered you.
Oh my God. And James is a musical musical podcast. He interviews musicians, world-class musicians. He also interviews wow, I did not know that, James. Holy shit, it's a small ass world. Oh, I didn't know who he was at all until I heard from Nicole. Until I heard from Nicole. Yes, that. Yeah, it's John Shock. So I don't expect him to. I don't expect him to come my way at all. And like I said before, I'm not going to engage with him at all. As soon as he pops up, as soon as he comments, whatever, it'll just get blocked. And we're gonna have a good time. And speaking of good times, let me show you what we got on the calendar because man, we got some shit coming up on the calendar. I think I said one thing yesterday that I'm just, I was just expressing my opinion about this. Especially my opinion about like all the movies I watched and reviewed and people I've interviewed. Yeah, make him. He does the same old shit to everybody. I don't know what I mean. If he can sit there and make 50 accounts all he wants, but it's all going to just be for naught. I mean, if he really wants to get ugly, he can just have his IP can get blocked. Then he's off for the root. See, it's in a few movies of theirs. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, James. No, not. Oh gosh. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Your AC is different from our AC. No, that's no. Tony's cool. No, not Tony. No. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize till that now that they had the same initials. I was gonna wonder how he knew the other AC. I'm going like, but you're a music podcast. I don't know how you would even run across this guy. But I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I did too, though, James. I did too. I did the same thing you did. I am followed too. Yeah. No, you were right. Yes, that's what I've been hearing. I didn't know about that guy at all until Nicole Butler told me. Until she was posting out there. That's the only way I knew who this guy even was because Nicole called him out. And you know what? More, it's their community. I feel like I'm just a guest. when I come in there and ask someone to come do an interview with me here on the show. I feel like I'm a guest in their community. I don't have any say. It's none of my business. Stay out of it. I just want to talk about your movie. If you got a movie made, if you got some, if you got legit cred, got some credits. Yeah. Hey, Nikki, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome in.
Hello.
I don't know if I've seen you before, but I do know about what Silver Stackers are at the coin community. So come on in, enjoy the fun. So here's what we got for the rest of the okay, tomorrow, everybody be here tomorrow night for the Doomsday Crypt Army, as I call it our yes. My help. I'm not in the Stacker community, but what can we do to help you?
And I think Doomsday, my bad. Do I know you? I think I know you.
John. Please vote for you. What's your as far as going on your channel goes? On your community post. Let me see. I think I can help you out. Let's see. I think we can help out.
Yeah, like they say, Doomsday. Whatever the guest says does not does not associate with that. Like they say in the TV shows and stuff. Whatever opinions are said do not express the opinions of the network.
Right.
It's like if I say it, that's one thing, but if they say it, that doesn't mean I automatically agree with that person. I'm just doing my thing in the corner.
People forget that you cannot be harmed for an opinion. We're not coming out there and blowing this guy up. We're not accusing him of anything. We're not, it's like, if anything, the only thing, the guy comes to other people, to me, it's like, I just don't understand why you just don't himself, this guy, why didn't he just, say, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and, here's the post for Nikki. Long time no see, Nikki. So there's the link right there if you want to vote for the vote for Nikki right there. Not a problem, man. We can do that for you. Yep, no problem. So as far as that goes, I'm not sitting there, even when you write a review or what have you, you're still doing one thing. You're still just expressing one voice, one vocal.
Well, I find it interesting now because there's this whole debate on, well, we shouldn't say movies are bad and we shouldn't say movies suck, and because that could mean a lot to another person. Someone could really like that movie. But I'm like, I don't know. I think if we hate a movie, we should be able to say it. We're not trying to hurt the other person's feelings, and if their feelings do get hurt, I'm sorry, but no, I'm talking about the movie, not you. And I get it, we all get emotionally invested in movies, I understand. But even with directors, I'm like, okay, I didn't like your movie, but I'm sure there's somebody that does. So maybe focus on the people that do, and or maybe take my criticisms to get better. And I get if you just say a movie shit, you don't give criticism, but you should try to give actual criticisms. But yeah, oh, wait, he's gone. Oops. I wasn't looking and he just bounced.
Now I'm back. Just out of
Oh, you're good.
Well,
go ahead.
It's definitely a tricky situation. We saw that with I guess we saw that up and close with Markiplier. He put out that movie Iron Lung, but I guess, but for when I guess, but when I guess that before he made his first movie, he was a film reviewer, and he used to do some pretty harsh harsh reviews, and then once he started making his own movie, he made a point of to coming out there and saying that he's no longer
Oh,
going to be. Yeah, you remember that?
that's not Markiplier. My bad. That's Chris Stuckman. Markiplier was the
Oh,
video game guy. Yeah, I got what you're saying though.
okay, Chris Duckman. Um,
Yeah,
When okay. uh, so he came. Oh, he did a Shelby Oaks. That's right. So
yeah.
he made Shelby Oaks. He released it, and people just could not wait, which really perplexed me. They couldn't wait to jump on him and to give his movie a bad review, and and the reason why is because they felt like he was being a hypocrite, and
Hmm.
before it was all right, it was open season on any bad movie that he wanted to rip on, but now that he's making his own movie, now he's not going to do that anymore. Okay, so I get that. um I don't think you necessarily needed to attack him for that. He just, I just think I think he learned. He learned like a lot of people. When I first started reviewing films, I learned that lesson too. My second review I ever did was for a movie called Seattle Superstore. Second one I ever did in my life, and yeah, I still have not seen Scream.
Mm.
Thank you, James. So
Yeah.
so I did Seattle Superstore, and
Mhm.
and on my in my review, I put the movie in the Paladin's litter box because I thought it was just a really cheesy movie, and I said it was cheesy, and it's like
Mhm.
um, and I put it in the litter box. Second, this is before I did any interviews, so I went ahead and I did that review, and then I started doing interviews, and then really nice people, and then I got on here, and then I interviewed. I got to interview because he's a Hallmark director. He made a lot of movies for Hallmark, and his name is Jason Borg, and he came onto the show, and here I am saying, we were talking about reviews, and I came clean. I said, I didn't do you right the first time. I thought I was being funny. I thought, because then people laughed at it. When they saw the pitch in the litter box, they laughed, and it's like, I felt like a fool. I'm like, man, it's not that easy making
Mhm.
a movie, and it's like, whatnot. And so
It's not.
I went back there. Well, I mean, but he's a true filmmaker. He's not a hack. I'll never apologize for criticizing a hack director ever. I won't do that. Um, I won't. I just won't do that. I mean, if it's not a good movie, I will not hesitate to say it's a bad movie. Nor,
Yeah.
and but I went there, and I said, I'm going to go back. I'm going to rewatch this movie because now I see it through fresh eyes, through like a sort of like a filmmaker's eyes. And I went back and I rewatched that movie, and yes, there were some plot armor, there were some plot holes in it, and I'm like, okay, it's still not the best movie, but it was not nearly as bad as I had made it out to be.
Hmm.
It was not the best movie, but a lot of that has to do with the budget, and part of it had to do with the writing. Part of it had to do with the writing. But as far as his direction goes, I couldn't. There was nothing for me to complain about because he's the director, not the writer.
I
So,
I get what you're
so,
saying.
so
I don't know, man. I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't think what you did was that bad. It was a joke, obviously. It was a joke. You did a joke, like, and you gave the movie a second chance, which is something I will do too. But like, I like to give movies second chance. But I don't think it's bad to rip a movie. I don't see
no,
that. You know what I mean?
no, I agree. Um, James is mentioning I interviewed Yui Bowl through James. Thank you, James. and James as well interviewed Yui Bowl. Like we both knew this. We're both big Yui Bowl fans. I gotta admit, man, I never thought Yui Bowl was the worst director. I saw people run their mouths on him. I've seen his movies. His movies are not the worst. And if you think so, you just must have just watched your first movie, because let me tell you, there are a lot of truly bad film directors out there, and Yui Bowl is not in the same category. He's
I
entertaining.
haven't seen much. He did House of the Dead, right?
Yes.
People hate that movie. I remember enjoying that one enough because I've seen worse than House of the Dead's just really cheesy. It's just a really cheesy movie, but there's nothing wrong with that. Cheese
There's
can be
nothing
good.
wrong with that. I saw the what was it, Lost in the Dark? What was it? What was the last one? It's the what was it called? The one with Christian Slater and Tara Reid, Alone in the Dark. I saw that movie. That movie was fun. That movie was fun. And then I watched In the Name of the King, Dragon Siege. Holy shit, that was really fun. I really liked that movie a lot, and that was actually my first time that I saw Alec. Oh gosh, what's his last name? But I know what it is. But he was really good in that movie. I mean, his acting performance, I mean, was really good. Dolph Lundgren was really good in it, and people are saying it's a Yui Bowl movie. And it's like, so what? It's a good movie. This is very good. It's one of my favorite Dolph Lundgren performance, and Alec Vanapik I think is Vanapik is his name, and he ended up going on and doing some Marvel Universe stuff. Um, Great guy. Someone who I really like to talk to. And no, I had no problem with Yui Bowl. I think he's a fine director.
Hmm.
Um, yep. So, and I think Jason Bourne was too. I mean, you go back there, and because I really enjoyed his Hallmark movies. And then we were talking about the fact that here we were talking about Eastside Morales, who was the star of the film, and we're looking at him, we're looking at this movie, which is a sci-fi level movie. We're sitting there going like, and look what happens. Look what happens. Here he goes. He's always been a really steady name ever since he came out in La Bamba. Um, he's always been a steady actor, and then here he is going from Seattle Superstorm to playing the main fucking villain in the Mission Impossible movie, the last two. I mean, that's how weird Hollywood is, right? It's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. I mean,
No, friendly man, he was right about Markiplier doing Iron Lung, but he was talking about Stuckman with the reviewer stuff and follows Markiplier. That's all I was saying. I wasn't trying to say, oh, Stuckman did Iron Lung. My bad.
it says John. That's the problem. He texts good people. I don't know why I got along with him, but couldn't tolerate that. Yeah, a lot of people really they went to town on him for that, and it does smack a little bit of hypocrisy. But I also like to think maybe it was more of a case of education. He got educated. He learned from his mistakes. Like all of a sudden it's like once he got on set and he realized exactly how much fucking work it takes, he's and its own money involved in it. He realized that it's not as easy as it appears to be sitting in a chair eating popcorn and drinking a Dr. Pepper.
Hmm.
It's tough work. And so, Stuckman, I think, I mean, I think that he learned from that. And I want to see Shelby Oaks. I want to see it. I want to see Iron Lung, and I want to see Curry Barker's movie. I mean, I want to
Yeah,
see
give
them
them
all.
all chances.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with the guy who directed Kyle Ball, who directed Skin of Morennic. Man, that was a
Hmm.
fantastic movie. Um, I enjoyed the hell out of that. And I
Yeah,
want to
that
see.
movie is very divisive.
Yeah, I know, I know, I know. I know I'm on the minority in that movie too.
Well, my friend loves it. I think it's okay. I thought it was a decent. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's a decent movie for what it is. I have problems with it, but I enjoyed it for what it was. But I have a friend that loves that movie, and I have a friend that hates that movie, and it's funny because they'll like fuck with each other. It's pretty funny.
All right, I'm going to vote for Nikki here. Cast my vote in for him. Then we're going to go bring up our Khalil page and finish getting that up and running. Yeah. I looked at my picture for my library haul. That's probably one of the best pictures I've ever done. I managed to put the whole movie up without showing my face. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. All right, there he is. Wow. All right, let me bring this up here, and this won't take very long. Yeah. Oh, let me take that private. That's the thing about StreamYard is like you have to be when you do your preview page, you have to make sure that that your video is not for kids. They physically make you do that to check it off. They don't automatically assume that. So they won't let you do anything else or save anything until you acknowledge the fact that it's not for kids.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now let's see. I gotta catch up. I'm so far behind as far as my getting my interviews organized. All right. All right. So what have you been watching, Trenchy? You been watching anything good?
I actually I watched the first part of the two-parter of Airwolf.
Yes. So you did. So you watched the. Okay. So you watched the first half of the first episode. Yes.
Yeah, I watched the whole first episode, and then it's like I guess it's a two-parter. It's also a movie, but the movie was different. I don't know. It's confusing, but I watched it in episode form.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I did too.
Yeah, I like it, but it is interesting because I was not expecting. I'm not saying I think it's bad, but I enjoyed it because some of the acting was a bit like I'm like holy shit, I was laughing, dude. The acting was like kind of bad, but in an enjoyable way.
Sure. It's actually the guy who plays the main villain in that. He's an actor named David Hess. Man, you should go look at that guy's resume. That guy, I didn't know who he was when I watched the episode,
Mm.
and as I got older, then you start figuring out like who are these actors, and you find out who they are. And when I find out David Hess, like he had a very good career, but it was very up and down, as far as that goes. Um, John saying, yeah, I heard Scream 7 was terrible. I didn't, yeah, I did not. I think what was really terrible about that, John, was the fact that they gave away one of the killers right away. This is one of those cases where it would been better off not to announce your cast because as soon as you hear this guy's name, you instantly know that he's going to be a Ghostface. As soon as they said Ethan Embry was joining the cast, I knew right there. I was like, "That's a Ghostface." He might not be the only one, but he'll be one of them. He'll be a Ghostface because he's just a bad. He always plays bad guys now. And so as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh. Now I thought the other part of that casting, it's been out for a while, so spoiler alert. I thought that was interesting. Anna Camp playing the other Ghostface. I thought that was interesting. I thought, okay,
Oh, I know Anna Camp. Yeah.
yeah, I thought that was interesting. I was interesting because like Brittany Snow, who she worked with Anna in the Pitch Perfect franchise.
Mm-hmm.
They all pretty much have always had. I wouldn't necessarily say good girl roles, but they're known for playing good people. And so when you saw X and you saw Brittany Snow, you know, doing nude scenes and cursing and smoking, and it's like, who's that? Is that Brittany Snow? Holy shit, it's Brittany Snow. 'Cause never seen
Hmm.
her in a role like this. And then you got Anna Camp, who's also played. She's also played, even though she's played a little bit more devious roles, like in True Blood. But still,
Yeah.
when you see Anna Camp, still most of the time when you see her, you're instantly thinking Pitch Perfect, nice person. She's playing everybody's mom. That sort of deal. And so,
Hmm.
for her to go against Type and play one of the Ghostface killers, I thought that was all right. I was like, all right, I'm down with that. But Ethan Embry, they gave it away way too much. It was like, yeah, Ethan
Yeah,
Embry could have
some
been
actors are just typecasted.
right. And the thing is, though, Ethan Embry never used to be. I mean, he's done.
Hmm.
He's an interesting dude. He's an interesting dude. He makes some interesting choices in his career. Um, the last thing I saw him do was Hunter x Hunter. That movie is
Oh, I've never seen that one.
you won't forget it when you do. It'll be one of those movies that you talk when people start talking about horror movies. You'll raise your hand up and sit there and say, "Have you seen Hunter x Hunter yet?" Um, it's
Hmm.
fantastic. It's fantastic. That ending will live in your head for a little while. It's so badass, daring. I've never seen anything like it on a commercial movie. I was like, that is just absolutely bonkers. But I'm in for it. Um, yeah. Jerry mentions he loves Airwolf. Yes, Jerry. Me and Trenchy. Now that you watched the first episode, um, now we can actually start planning to do our. We can start planning to do our recording.
Oh,
Um,
do you want to do the two-parter?
uh, no, let's do the whole episode.
Oh yeah, well that's what I meant. Like the first episode and the second, they go together. The
Yeah,
two-parter episode.
let's do the two-parter.
Cause I gotta I gotta watch the second episode, but that should be fast. It's only like 48 minutes, so I could do that and just let me know or email me and just keep me posted, and we'll figure something out.
I'll email you a date. I'm doing tomorrow. I'm doing the pilot or doing the first episode of Magnum PI with Kenny from Kenny Talks
Mhm.
Kenny Movie Palace. We're doing Magnum PI tomorrow, and then we can do Airwolf. Hell
Cause
yeah!
that would be fun to do the first two. Cause I haven't seen the second part, but the first part I did enjoy and think it got better as it went. But it did have some moments where I'm like, this is so awkward, but I'm enjoying it because it's really funny. I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but I also think there's a lot of like good actual stuff that they set out to do. Like I do think it's a well made show. Yes, it has some silly things in it that maybe they didn't intend for, and it's a little like of its time, but I do think it's really good. It intrigued me. It did. I'm like, oh, I think I'll get into this. I would watch a season of this and see where it goes.
Yeah, the
Keep going
first
with it.
the first was it three seasons, 4 seasons? Yeah, I think it's 4 seasons. The first season were good. The last season was just god awful.
Like most
They
shows.
yeah, they really they just I told you what they did to it for the last season. It was terrible. It'd been better off they'd never made the last season. Um, but the second half of the first, it gets a lot better, and it definitely gets a lot more serious. It's an intense second half, definitely.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by it, and I'm glad you picked this show because I may have not have gotten to it without you picking it. So this is a show I don't know how fast I watch it because I'm slow with shows, but I go back and watch some episodes here and there. It's like A Team,
Yeah,
it's like that.
I would love, so see, my brothers used to watch the A Team. I watched it a few times, but back then, when you watched it, the formula was always the same, and
Hmm.
come in there, save the mom and pop store, shoot at the bad guys, create some shit, create some sort of weaponry,
Um,
come outside. I
there's
mean,
always some sort of hijinks between Hannah or not Hannibal. What? Yeah, it is
Murdoch,
Hannibal,
Murdoch,
right?
Murdoch, and Murdoch and Baracus, BA.
Yeah,
That's it.
Murdoch and Baracus. Yeah, that's who it is. Murdoch's the crazy one, howling mad. Yeah, my bad. Hannibal's the guy with the cigar. Yeah, the
Right.
leader.
He's the one. I love it when a plan comes together.
Hmm.
Then I think I always thought the opening credits had one of my best moments, one of my favorite moments when they showed Dirk Benedict as he's walking and a Cylon walks in front of him and he goes like this, like because it's a homage to Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica. It's hilarious. Um, yeah, but I would like to go back and revisit some of those episodes, and was it really that
Well,
formulaic?
with
Um,
A Team, how I look at it is it's a live action cartoon.
yeah,
So you kind of got to look at it like that, and it's gonna work for you if you love these characters. You can go along with the cookie cutter plots because they are cookie cutter, and
oh God,
there a lot of them is rinse and repeat. But old cartoons kind of did that stuff too. So if you can kind of just get with the characters and get with the cartoony, then you can maybe get into it. But I do see the plots people, being like, this is repetitive. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the point, sadly. But
yeah. I mean, that's the reason why they had to change the plot. After I think after the third or fourth year, they had to change it around because they were losing ratings because it was the same old shit. So they added a mechanic to the crew, and then they
mm,
fake their deaths and have them come work for the government. They changed that around. Try to give them new life, new blood to the show. Um, I remember George Papard. I remember reading him, and Dirk Benedict said the same thing. Is that they made the changes one season too late. If they had changed it after maybe like the third season, it might have worked. But they changed it when people interest was already on the wane, and so it really didn't work. There
yeah,
wasn't enough time for it to take hold, and so. But it was a good premise. They had a good show. I mean, at least I look at the A Team as one thing. I look at them as like they were the first four original stormtroopers for Star Wars. If you trace all the
mhm.
stormtroopers back throughout history, it'll always go back to the four A Team guys because those guys couldn't hit a side of a barn. They were
Yeah.
they were like the worst. They were like the worst shots on the like they were stormtrooper bad.
And what I find interesting about the A Team too is yes, it was goofy and silly, but there were hints, and there were some episodes that go more into it than others, but there were hints of seriousness in there, and some of the
Yeah.
characters, like Murdoch, has some like darkness. Like well, not darkness, but he could get a bit more serious at time, and there is a tragedy to these characters as well. And some
Mhm.
episodes are more serious, get into it than others. But yes, it's more silly, but that I do like how that hint of seriousness is there, and that hint of tragedy with the characters is there in a small dose. I appreciate that.
It's funny you mentioned that because I mentioned this when we were talking about Airwolf before, but it was like this is the first time I ever saw this. I said there was a comic named Artie Johnson. He was very popular in the '60s and throughout the '70s. He was always doing comedy. He's always on game shows and everything else. He was just a comedian. Love Boat, Fantasy Island. And, he was always the comic relief. But the episode that
Hmm.
he did in Airwolf, wow. I was like I had to go back to make sure that was really him because I had never seen him play a serious role before, and by God, he was good. I mean, he was really
Hmm.
good, and I was sitting there like, man, how come he doesn't do this more often? Um, I just saw that. I'm like, that guy, he could bring the freight. Yeah.
Yeah,
And, sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you can get a person outside the comfort zone, and it's good to see. Like when they play against tight. Um, Daniel Davis. He played the butler in the Nanny, right? He was all Niles. He
hmm,
played Niles the butler and the Nanny. Comedy. Ha ha ha. He's always putting down. He's always cutting down the assistant to the boss. He's just laugh a minute, but he did I think 3 episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and if you look
mm.
on the favorite episodes, like the top 10 or top 15 episodes, his episodes will make it every time.
Yeah,
They'll make it
there's a
fun.
few actors like that.
Yeah, I got a hangnail here. Holy crow! Yeah, that was interesting. To see him in there, I was like, wow, that's Daniel. You know, I remember as soon as I saw him on Star Trek, I knew who he was from the nanny. I'm like, oh, okay. But then he played Professor Moriarty, Sherlock Holmes' nemesis, but he played him as human.
Oh yeah.
And he was a really yeah, it was a really good it was really good. I really
Oh
enjoyed
yeah,
seeing
well
that.
that's the Data episode where they bring more. I want to see that one. That I heard really good things. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the best. I think he made three appearances, and definitely one of the three, the best. Um, yeah, we were talking about that too. You know, we're talking about Star Trek episodes. I was talking about the Eric as we're talking about Scott Bakula. Him and I are going to be talking Quantum Leap here, and
Mm.
and Eric was sitting there saying how much he loved the show, and I've seen a couple episodes, and it seemed sort of lighthearted, yet at the same time, it's like that. It can be a little heavy at times as well. Um, but there was some comedy there, so you can see Scott Bakula had a light comic touch, and I was just thinking and going like, sometimes you need that. Sometimes it's okay to do that because he played Captain Archer on Star Trek on Enterprise, and one
Hmm.
of the things that I think really killed that show, I mean, was the fact that he was always so serious. I mean, there's just no humor. There's no joy, and it was hard to watch the show because he was just doom and gloom, or always seemed to be pissed off, like he had a stick up his ass in every episode.
Hmm.
And I know it wasn't him. I know it was because how he played the part, how it was written. But it was like, wow, can't you guys give this guy some fun? Let him go on Zegama Beach. See, they made eye
Right.
contact. Uh, but yeah, yeah. Now, have you seen any of these? Have you seen any of these YouTubers movies at all? Anybody in the chat? We got three people watching us. Anybody seen any of the Iron Lug or Shelby Oaks or Obsession?
I want to see them. And there's some YouTubers I know. Or there's this one YouTuber I watch. He usually he's on other people's streams where I see him, but I know he put out a short film that I'm interested in checking out too. I just haven't gotten to yet.
I'm still blown away by that. I'm still blown away by that Friday the 13th movie they did. Uh, let's see.
Oh, the one the I didn't see the second one, but or I might have seen some of the second one. Are you talking about something in the woods or the one
Yes.
where that guy's like it's like a survival horror with Jason?
He's it's a massive it's a multiverse. So they put in all these characters into this fan movie, like Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy, some other characters. Just Bullseye from Daredevil. I thought that was amazing. Bullseye. It just made it into just this one massive fan film. I mean,
Wait,
crazy.
Bullseye's? Wait, what is this? I want to see Bullseye fight Jason. That sounds
Yeah, yeah.
amazing.
I'll ask Lady Valerie what I think it's CCC Entertainment. Let me see if I can find it. Um, let me see. Dude, it was great. We watched it with the filmmakers. It was on Movies and Beyond, and I was just blown away by that they got it. They were able to do that. Uh, let's see. I think this is it right here. Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna drop the link down so you guys can check it out. Go ahead and
Oh
watch
yeah,
this.
that sounds awesome, dude.
Yeah, this is crazy fun. But what I was really excited about was the fact that hey Joseph, how are you, sir? Hopefully you're doing well. Um, yeah, I saw this for the first time, and what I was really excited about was the fact I mean, they didn't get any. They got. I guess they got permission. I mean, I don't know anybody that would do this without it, But so I think they got it. But what I love about it is the fact that um, they're going to make some money off this. They're going to be able to sell it, and
Hmm.
which I think they should. I really think that with all that going on, everything going on, I think why the hell not? As long as they basically operate the same way that authors operate as, look, you can use any of our characters, but here's the guidelines for them. You can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do. Okay, it, I can stay within those parameters. I can come up with like, what do you mean we can't get rid of Freddy? No, no, please don't kill Freddy. Okay, so we can look like we can kill him, but then we have to make sure that he's still dead at the end of the um
Yeah.
he's still dead at the end of the movie. Um, just chilling, huh? I still want to be a YouTuber. I thought you were a YouTuber. I thought you did YouTube. Yeah, you're a YouTuber. Everybody's a YouTuber. Everybody signs up's a YouTuber. If you support people, you're a YouTuber. Tell them,
Hmm.
Trenchy.
Yeah, like if you're on here chilling, I guess you're a YouTuber. Even though I guess I don't consider myself a YouTuber, but you're just like, man,
Oh my
just
gosh.
like if you mean like make videos, just turn on a camera and talk. That's all you gotta do. And trust
Uh,
me. And people would be like, you need lighting, you need this, you need that. Dude, I do it in the dark and people enjoy it. And that I don't understand, but like you don't need nothing. Just do it,
yeah.
man.
It says here, I did, but I don't want to delete my channel. Who says you have to delete your channel? No one says that. No, no one tells you. You don't have to delete your
They
channel.
want to delete.
Yeah, yeah. I guess
Wait,
if
why
you
would you
want.
have to delete your channel?
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to delete it.
They're like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Um,
Said, yeah. Your friends on YouTube told me don't delete it. So yeah. So listen to your friends. Don't delete it.
yeah, just
Yeah.
like I don't make stuff all the time, but doesn't mean I'm gonna delete my channel just because I'm not as active. Like, just keep it there just in case when you are active. You just do stuff when you want to do it. Don't push a deadline. Because you'll get burned out. Like, deadlines work for some people, but if they don't work for you, you don't need to do it, man.
Yep. You don't have to do it.
Like, cause
Uh,
I just you know I just do what I want when I want.
um. So I got to ask you, Trenchy, are you a big Masters of the Universe fan?
Okay, that's a big is complicated. I like Masters of the Universe. I like the He-Man cartoon. I've seen a couple of the cartoons and the Dolph Lundgren movie. I like it. I won't say I'm a super fan like other people are, but I maybe know a little bit more than your average like person that just watches like television and stuff. I might know slightly more than them, but like
Are,
um
are
I'm
you
not
familiar
like
with?
I can't tell you everything about He-Man. I'm not that good with it.
So have you seen Alison Brie yet as Evil Lynn?
I think I've seen her in the trailer. She looks good. I think that cast surprisingly everybody looks good. I'm a little weirded out by Jared Leto, but besides that, everybody looks good, and he looks good too. It's just I don't know. I'm sick of Jared Leto.
I was just like, I'm just trying to wrap my brain around Alison Brie. I mean, we were talking earlier just a minute ago about going against type, and I'm going like, I totally get that. I really do. I'm just trying to have a hard time watching Alison Brie play Evil Lynn because she's such a nice, it's like it would be like seeing Brittany Snow play her or Anna Camp. It's like I don't really know if I can see you playing Evil Lynn, like because you're always so nice and um I'm just
Mhm.
trying to wrap my brain around her playing Evil Lynn and I'm just Like Meg Foster was great. Meg Foster from the first one,
Yes.
that oldie. I mean, this is when her eyes become an asset because because she got those beautiful blue eyes, but man, oh man, when she plays a villainess, she plays it. I mean, you're like those eyes are no longer. You're not looking at her eyes as pretty. Her eye. Oh, your eyes are so beautiful. You're looking at her eyes like, holy shit, I'm dead.
Hmm.
I'm dead. She's gonna hit me with some sort of spell and shit. Um, she looks like a sorceress. And then when I saw Alison Brie, I'm going like, she looks like she's in Community.
Yeah,
So
it's weird with me with her because I haven't seen much of her work. I haven't seen Community, so the only thing I have to go on with Brie is Scream 4. And in Scream 4, she kind of played a bitchy character that pretended to be nice, but she was just trying to get her story. She was a bit bitchy, but
mhm.
like that's all I really got to go off of. And I think she looks okay in the role. I'll have to see how she does it. I don't jump on new movies right away, but I'm interested to see what she does, and I'm curious. I'll give her a shot in the role. I will say Marina Barricana, or however you say her name, the girl from Firefly and Deadpool as the sorceress, is great.
Yeah,
That's great
yes,
casting.
yeah. Miranda Baccarin is right now. Honestly, I think
Hmm.
she's probably man. I think she is probably the only one I know that can go seamlessly
Yeah.
go from TV to movies without skipping a beat. I mean,
Oh, she's
she did one
fucking
movie.
killing it, dude.
Yeah. Um, we're talking about that. I was mentioning that to somebody today about how, some actors they don't translate to, we're talking about Tom Selleck and Tom Selleck is a great TV actor. I mean, he's a great TV actor. Saw him in Magnum, saw him in Blue Blood, saw him in Jesse Stone. He's a great television actor. But feature film wise, he never. Well, we're glad you're here too, Joseph. Glad you're here too. Um, but he never translated to the big screen. Like if you go like
Hmm.
trying to see him play Indiana Jones, you just can't do it. You look at him and you go like, ah, I never saw him as Indiana Jones. Never. I mean, it's like because he was up for the role. I think they couldn't get
Wait,
out
who
of
are you talking about? My bad.
Tom Selleck played
Oh,
Magnum PI.
wait, Tom Selleck was gonna be Indiana Jones.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's exactly my reaction too. Was like when I heard that, I'm going like, oh, I'm so glad that didn't happen. I mean, because he couldn't carry a feature film. Like they tried to make him a star, and they put him all these projects designed to make him into a star, like Runaway and a couple of other ones. And he just never really connected theatrically with an audience. People liked him on TV well enough, but they wouldn't go and watch his movies. So he didn't translate well into the movies. It's one of those, and Miranda Bachman, she's one of those ones that just doesn't matter where she plays at. She could do TV series like she's doing now, like she's doing Sheriff Country, or she could go ahead and slide over and do a feature film. She can just do both
Mhm.
without missing a beat, and people will watch her on TV and they'll watch her at the theater. Um, Not too many actors can do that.
Yeah, I think it's getting more now because TV and film are kind of the same now. Just they're a little different, but there used to be a big jump because it's like television was low budget, films were big budget. That's how. But now I feel like they're more even, even though there were some TV shows just as good as movies back then. But I'm just saying, like there was a leap like between them. But now I feel like they're getting closer. Like oh, they're kind of almost on the same level. And I like some shows. I might like shows better than movies some days. It just depends. I really love shows as well.
No, I get that. Let's see, Joseph is still with us, saying he's still excited about Scarefest again. That's coming up, I think, Scarefest. And I'm excited to meet Danielle Harris again. That'll be nice. And I
Oh yeah.
think people who love horror too, I think they're nice to meet at Scarefest in Kentucky, and I like their costumes. Yeah, man, definitely take some. They like people in costumes. You could ask them if they can take a picture. If you could take a picture of their costume, if you ask them real nicely, a lot of people will let you do that. Yeah. I'm excited, Trenchy. I gotta tell you, I'm looking at my month in June, and June has turned out to be pretty fun. Um, Super excited to meet this new actress. Well, first off, I'm really excited for a week from tomorrow. I'm going to meet publicist Jimmy Starr. Um, Man, I from my music days, I can tell you that one of the things I really respect a good publicist.
Hmm.
A good publicist is weight in gold. Um, they can get you out there, get your name out there. Jimmy Starr's been doing it for years, years and years, and in fact, all his videos, every platform that he's been on, he's had over 1 billion views on his platforms. I think almost 1.3 billion people have watched him online. I've seen his show about 30 or 40 times myself. And he does a lot. He does a lot like what we do, like me and John and Steven.
Hmm.
But he interviews big names, but he also interviews up and comers. John saying Tom Selleck never could make transitions successfully from TV to film. It was a lot tougher to do in the '80s. Yeah, I did like
Hmm.
Mr. Baseball. Only a few, like Bruce Willis, did that successfully. Successful TV to film. Yeah, it was. You're probably right on that, John. It probably was a lot harder back then than it is today, because a lot of people do it today. A lot of people cross over all the time, but he just never could. I mean, it wasn't. I personally, I always thought it was his voice. He like
Right.
he was doing the Magnum voice. If you watch him in Magnum and then watch him like in Blue Bloods or Jesse Stone, there's two different voice patterns there. Like and when he did Magnum, a lot of it had to do with like a lot of he comes across sort of like whiny, you know, like his voice isn't deep enough, and it sounds like to me like half the time he's whining. Like, um, but you go back to his Blue Bloods, and he's really quiet. He's not yelling at anybody. Or you watch Jesse Stone, which is my personal favorite, and he's not yelling at anybody. Um, Much better. But his Magnum performance, I think that ended coming back to bite him in the ass in a lot of ways. Um,
Right.
yeah, John mentions he didn't have a lot of range. No, he really didn't. He really didn't. Um, no, like I said, I think as he got older, he definitely got better. And he did much better with an ensemble cast. Blue Bloods is, he's just one of the parts. Um, and he was happy to be there. He was glad that the whole show wasn't on his shoulders.
Hmm.
So I mean, just about when he's younger, definitely, just about. I think there was one he did about a pilot and him and this girl, Bess Armstrong, they crashed, and I remember they were showing the previews for that. Good Lord, he sounds just like Magnum. He sounds just like him, shrill and complaining, exasperated, and no, people just don't want to hear that on the TV screen. Um, have a good night to you as well, Joseph. Don't delete your channel. I think
Yeah,
you have
man.
to.
Just do what you want to do, man. Like, don't get too discouraged about it, and you don't even have to take it too seriously. Just pace yourself.
Yeah.
Do if it makes you happy, do it. And don't care what anybody else says.
Um, No knock. I like still like I said, Mr. Baseball was really good. And I loved him in I love the Jesse Stone movies. Those are really good. All of them are really good. Man, I tell you, the one that really got me was the one he did. They did the last one. They did the first. I think they did the first 7 on CBS, and then they did the last one. I think they did the last 2 on Hallmark Channel. And the last one I saw on Hallmark Channel was like, holy shit, dude! I did not expect to see that on Hallmark Channel, but it was a badass ending. I was like, damn. Um, it was kick ass. Um, yeah. So Jimmy Starr's going to come a week from tomorrow. Super excited to meet him. Just tremendous. He has a partner named Ron Russell. And they interview anybody. They interview very well known personalities, and they do what we do on our level, the grassroots level. They interview a lot of people. Like I've seen a lot of the indie film community come up on their channel, be interviewed on. Super nice guy. Cannot wait to sit there and talk to him, and talk about his career. Man, super excited. Brian is here. Says my wife and I took the Universal Backlots tour, and they showed Magnum PI's Ferrari. They destroyed the dream by mentioning it was powered by 4-cylinder Pinto engine. Oh my God. Oh. How did it even move? Oh, oh my God. I think you're too young to remember Pintos, but Pintos, if you type in the word Ford Pinto in your search bar at YouTube,
Yeah, I think I've
that's
seen them before.
uh look forward to tomorrow. I'll be back and forth at work. Camera may be off a bit. Not a problem, man. We're gonna chop it up. We're gonna chop it up. Brian mentioned his mouth just dropped. My mouth just dropped. Hell. Oh, wait till we drop. I'm so glad you shared that, Brian, because I'm recording for RetroTube. I'm recording the first episode of Magnum. Me and my friend Kenny from Kenny's Movie Palace. We're going to be talking about the first episode of Magnum PI, and so I'll be able to drop that little fact on tomorrow's show. So thank you. So thank you for that, sir. Um, um, Yeah, Miranda, man, that girl, yeah, she's ageless too. Miranda Baccarin, man, she is ageless.
Yeah,
She's
and she is really good because, and I mean everybody on Firefly was really good, but she does steal the show, and she does like have some great moments on that show where there's layers to her character, and she acts it out really well because. I do think that she could probably do some leading stuff and be really good if they let her.
I absolutely loved Jewel State, who
Hmm.
played the main. I think she is darling as hell, but she is spicy. If you watch her social media, she's spicy, and I like that. I mean, she's just like she does not put up with fools. Um, yeah, I like that a lot. Uh, but and Gina Torres. I mean, think about all 3 women on that wrong Firefly. All 3
Hmm.
women absolutely 100% badass.
Don't forget
I
Summer
mentioned
Glau.
before. Oh God, I just watched Nice and Badass them today. Oh boy, I hope Gunther doesn't come over and knock on the door. Um,
Is it? I'd say Summer Glau too. She did that, and then she did Terminator show, and she's awesome in the Terminator show.
Ageless too. I saw a picture of her when they're doing that animated. They were doing the animated Firefly, and Nathan Fillion knocked on her door, and she opened the door, and I'm sitting there going like, Jesus Christ, she looks just the same as she did in the show. She barely aged at
Yeah.
all. They barely aged at all. Yeah, I just watched Nice and Badass them today. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I have. I think I confused that one with I think I've seen clips of it because Peter Dinklage, right, and Jason Stackhouse, the actor that plays Jason. I think I've seen some of it. I gotta watch that all the way through.
That movie is so bad. Joe Lynch, that's my favorite Joe Lynch movie. It's absolutely awesome. Ryan Quatain, Steve Zahn, Summer Glau, Peter Dinklage, just absolutely ripping it
Yeah,
up.
thank
Jimmy
you,
Stewart.
Ryan Quatain. That's the guy. That dude from that's Jason Stackhouse. Yeah,
Um, oh, that's right, from True Blood.
yeah. That's why I didn't know his name, so I'm like, I just threw out the first character I could think of.
And here I know it too. Let's see. I just saw
Yeah,
my
thank
first
you for
episode.
that.
I just saw my first episode of True Blood not that like 3 weeks ago. See, Brian says, are they doing a reunion, or was that just for? No, they're doing a. They're going to be doing an animated series. Brian, I don't. I know people. People. I think people thought they were going to do a movie, like a live action movie, but I don't think they have the time for that between all the other commitments. I mean, all of them are super busy.
Yeah.
Lorena has a series going. Nathan has a series going. Um, I, if I'm not mistaken, I think Gina still has a series going. They're everybody involved in that show. I think the only one that's not working is Adam Baldwin. That's the only one I don't think it's working right
hmm
now. Doesn't have a project. But
Is
everything else,
the doctor working? The guy that played the doctor?
I, yeah,
Um,
Sean Whalen, I think his name was right.
I think so. Yeah, because he he was good. I like that whole cast. My favorite character was probably Book though. I hated what they did to Book in the movie. I really liked Book, and I hope the
Well,
cartoon goes more into Book.
I hope that they come back and figure out. I don't know how they're going to get around the loss of Alan Tudyk's, the pilot. I don't know how they're going to get around that.
Well, yeah,
Especially
they
since
lost him, and
died
they
so
lost
young.
they lost Book too. In the movie, but I think what they should do is they should set it before the movie. Do like a middle
Yeah,
ground.
yeah. Let's see. I'm sure that Joe will show you. Will show you on stream. Um, he's working on Danny's Nightmare on Elm Street's 5 photo op transformations. I cannot wait for this. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait for that. I can't wait to meet Danny. I can't. We got another. I actually got another Nightmare on Elm Street actor on the show. I'm so stoked with that.
That's so cool.
It is really cool. It's like you get a chance to meet some of the you get a chance to meet some really nice people. Um, I saw this on Christian Hanna's channel yesterday. CHH. So
hmm
I've been seeing his channel a little bit pop up more in my streams, and I watched the one he posted yesterday, and he actually made some good points here. It's interesting. I want to talk about it with you, Trenchy. So
Okay.
he commented about this, and it was interesting. I mean, I've always thought about this too, but this is like the first time I've ever seen anybody actually voice it. And he said that he went to a small convention. Um, wasn't crowded. He went on the last day. There were some people there he wanted to meet. Some guests he wanted to get some pictures of. And he commented how he went in. He's looking around and he's seeing all the people around, and he's seeing the guests there, and the lines weren't that bad, and what have you. And the one thing that so he went up to him, for autographs, like he wanted to get autographs, and he got them. Took his kids with him. He got stuff for his kids, and he commented about this. Is I wanted to meet Tom Atkins, so I went over to Tommy Atkins, and then he's sitting there and he's talking to Tom, and he's looking at him, and he realizes that it comes to it's like an epiphany. He goes, a lot of these guys that we see, you know, every year we see them, they're older,
hmm
and he says, you see them now, and you realize that they are older, like
hmm
they're in the twilight, and like we always, it's true, like he started thinking about it, like when people talk about who's going to be a guest, you're so excited for the name, right? You're
Yeah.
excited for the name. But in the reality is you go there and you start looking at some of these, especially some of these people who go there every year to a certain show, and you start noticing that the people that you like, uh, they're getting older. They're getting
Hmm.
older, and they're in their twilight. They're in their 70s, 60, late 60s, 70s. They're not young anymore. They're not how you remember them on the big screen.
Of
Um,
course.
hey, old movie Mike, welcome in, welcome in. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Yeah.
Hello.
Um, let's see. Brian mentioned I watched the lead guy and the rookie and never knew about him being a Firefly until recently. Oh yeah, Nathan Fillion. He did a Firefly, and then he did another series called Castle for 8 or 9 years, and then he did the rookie. Um, but yeah, I thought about that, Trenchy. It's true. You look at a lot of these stars, and you look at them. They're promoting their because it's convention season now, so for now throughout the summer, um, there's two things I want to say about that, and one I did address it when me and Will were talking about it, and we were talking about this with some of the genre actors. Christian mentioned that about the stars getting older. Like that you know sooner than later it's going to be pop up on somebody's feed that so and so passed away,
Yeah.
a horror icon or whatever. It's going to happen sooner than later. Um, and it was interesting to sit there and say, realize that and try not to take it for granted. Like when you go there, you talk about, yeah, I'm going to get so and so's autograph. I'm going to do this, and start thinking of the fact that you get it. It's precious. Now you can go out there and meet these people, but maybe this is their last convention. Maybe they're not going to be able to do it anymore. Maybe. And
Yeah.
and one of the things I always said, and I always say here too, um, like whenever I get an interview with somebody, the one thing I'm sure to say, and John knows this because I've interviewed him. I always say thank you for the opportunity, because I know I might not get it again. I might not. And I've had that happen to me doing this interview show. I have had people that have not made it to my show that I have booked. They have passed before they've gotten here. Um, that's sobering. There's also been ones that have passed after I talked to them, and that's sobering. You know, um, and I just like the way how he phrased it to try not to take, when you go see the actor, your hero or whoever, some of the older names like Tom Atkins. I mean, that guy's got to be in his
Mhm.
80s now. I mean, no offense to him, but he was old when he started. I mean, I think he was in his
Yeah.
40s when he first started. And here he is still cranking along, at 80 years old or whatever. He's still churning up. He's still working hard. And it's just like, yeah, I wonder if Tom Atkins is going to be this year. Probably, there might be a chance that he might not. Um, so
Yeah.
it was an interesting take on that, and I thought Christian did a good job in expressing it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Talking about these people as people, because I try not to get really too attached to celebrities, because there's a lot of, I just kind of separate the art from the artist, because a lot of them do get caught up in bad stuff, and I don't know these people, so I don't want to like make a parasocial relationship or anything. And
right.
I'm not really for like signing stuff. I guess I would get stuff signed, but I'd rather like just meet the person and maybe like ask a couple questions and have like a short conversation, not take up too much of their time. I'd rather
Right.
pick their brain than get an autograph, because
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just not an autograph guy. I mean,
I'm not an
I
autograph guy.
not against getting them per se, but I'm not the one that's like, I'm gonna spend $100 for an autograph. I'm like, if that's your thing, cool, but that's not my thing.
No, it's not my thing. No, I'm not going to spend that. I mean, I like it. I mean, if you could, I mean, I think I only paid for, I think I paid like $15 for one autograph, and part of it was I had fun with my wife, and two,
Yeah,
because I felt bad for the actor. Um, you know, and because there was nobody there, he got put in a really shitty area, and there was nobody there, and he was kind enough to talk to me for a half hour, and so I
yeah.
felt, I felt like I've been here for a half hour, and so I ended up buying a pitcher. Um,
See,
I got one
things
other.
like that is what I like. It's like having a conversation. I prefer that, and I'll when people are showing off their sign and stuff, I'll be like, oh, cool, because I'm glad they're happy with it. I'm happy you're happy, but that's just not my thing personally.
No, I got one free autograph, which was a surprise to me. But his handler was very nice, and I think it was one of his first conventions because he had that headlight, the deer in the headlight look about him, and two, that he was also paired next. He all got seated next to Julie Newmar, and Julie Newmar, when
Mhm.
that was like that was like in the '90s, so she was still very limber, and she was still very much Catwoman mode. And I think he was like, people were sitting there talking to her, and she was like, she could stretch and bend, and it's like I think he was a little like, wow, Um,
Yeah.
but I got him to sign the movie that I got at a special edition of Enter the Dragon, and I got John Saxon to put down "Want to Bet" because that's his big line in the movie. Every time he get in trouble, he sits there and say, "You want to bet?" So I said, "Could you sign that for me for that?" And he did that for me for free, and I thought that was really. His handler said, "Sure," and I thought that was really nice. But I only paid for one autograph at a convention, and that was for Bernie Kopell, um, who played
Mm.
Doc on Love Boat. But he was more well known for three fucking episodes of a TV series. He was more famous when people, because I asked him, I says, "What do you get addressed by more? Do you get dressed more by Doc after 9 years of Love Boat? 9 years? Do you get addressed more by Doc or by Siegfried?" He goes, "Without a doubt, Siegfried." People come up there and say, "We do not do that in Chaos." He was in
Mhm.
three episodes to Get Smart as Siegfried, and he was more well known for that than 9 years on the Love Boat. That's crazy.
Sometimes characters just hit, man. Sometimes that one character with seconds, because like Torgo from I forget what the movie's called, Manos Hands of Fate. That character, people love that. I love that character, and it's like very small role, but that actor killed it.
Yeah,
We love Torgo.
I gotta see
The
that movie.
master would not approve.
I got one of those multi packs with all those public domain movies. I gotta dig that up, man, because I know that movie's on there. I gotta dig it up to watch it. Or either that, I guess I can just watch it here on public domain. But I love public domain movies, man. They're a hoot. They are a flippin'
Yeah.
hoot. I watched I watched Attack of the Killer Leeches twice in 2 weeks on two different channels here. Both the channels aired the Attack of the Killer Leeches. I watched them both times. I got in about the same time, and I watched them both because it was so much fun talking in the chat. It was hilarious. But those movies are so much fun to like. I didn't know this till like last year. I didn't know the House of Haunted Hill was public domain.
Oh yeah, yeah. That one's and that's probably one of the best public domains. Or Night of the Living Dead exists too, but that House on Haunted Hill is great.
Oh my gosh. I watched that for the first time. I was sitting there like I just sit there and like, okay, so my question in this movie is one. I only have really one question, and that is,
Mhm.
who was that girl and why was she a bigger name? I mean, I'm talking about the one who played Vincent Price's wife.
Oh yeah,
Man,
the one that goes toe to toe with him. She keeps up with Vincent Price.
she was stunning. She was absolutely beautiful. And I'm sitting there going like, wow, how come we never heard of this person or her name or anything like that? And I guess she retired relatively. She didn't get the parts, and she ended up recently retiring pretty early. And but God, I was sitting there going like, wow. If I was Vincent Price, I'd be sitting there going like, okay, I'm gonna kill your lover. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna melt his ass out of here. But you know what? I'm gonna give you another chance. um, yeah, that was really that was like, wow, this is really good. I mean, I saw some of the faces on there. Um, like Richard Long, I knew who he was. He's from the Big Valley. I recognized him right away. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know he was in this movie. Um, yeah, it was a fun watch. Um, let's see, what else do we got coming up here? Speaking of beautiful. Oh, well, that's a good segue. So speaking of beautiful, so on the 10th of June, which is a Wednesday, we are having Andrea Garces Lopez come on, and whew, yikes. So she's an actress. She did a movie called 7 Days to Hell, and this was something we were talking about yesterday too. Um, if John, if you're still here, I'd love to hear your opinion about this too. Um, we were talking about how some directors direct, write, and act all at once, and I personally don't really think it works. There's always something being forgotten. There's always something going through the cracks. I think acting. When I mean acting, I mean like like this director. I mean, he tried. I mean, he tried, but he would have been better off passing on the role to somebody else and just wrote and directed. I feel that for everybody, not just him. So if he hears this, it's not just for you; it's for everybody. I just don't feel I just feel like it's too much weight, especially on an independent movie. I feel like it's too much weight on that person's shoulders, and I think the movie
Mhm.
suffers. Um, if you want to do a cameo, if you want to come in there and play like the ticket counter and help out the hero or the heroine, I get that. Like Alfred Hitchcock did. You see Alfred Hitchcock. That's part of the game with his movies is you look for him. It's like finding Waldo. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no problem. But I think when you sit in there, you're writing the movie, you're directing the movie, and then you're in the main role in the movie. I just feel like it just really hurts your movie. Um,
I
and
think some people can pull it off, but it's really hard.
really hard. I mean, maybe they could pull it off if they had the budget. When you have the budget for something like that. But when you're low
Hmm.
budget, I think the pressure is on tremendously because
Oh, of course.
there's so many more fires to put out with a lot less people for an independent movie than there is for a big studio picture. Um, but Andrea is playing the devil in this movie called 7 Days to Hell, and she's playing Helena, who is the devil. And I was ready to sign up. I was ready. Like, do you want me to poke my finger for this shit, or she looked awesome. She makes a lovely, lovely devil. And so we'll be talking to her on the 10th. She's got some other roles coming up, and yeah, she's stunning, and she's very nice to talk to, and very dedicated too. And I saw the picture. I saw the picture behind the scenes, and it was funny because I thought that maybe she was cosplaying. Like because a lot of actors do that. They act and then do cosplay. And so I asked her. I said, "Are you a cosplayer? Do you do that as well?" She goes, "No, I don't do that. I make movies and I act." Okay. Um, yeah, I decided to ask because she looked so amazing in her costume for the movie, and I thought, wow,
Hmm.
she could easily do a cosplay and do it well. But I'm looking forward to talking to her about her career. That's gonna be a lot of fun. We got her coming up on the 10th. Um, on the 11th, we have filmmaker Frank Merrill will be with us. He's got a new movie coming out. Of course, 12th, Khalil Neal will be here. And then on the 18th, we have probably one of the most talented people I've ever had on the show, I mean, she's holy shit. I felt like I was real. I felt like it's very rare this happens, but sometimes I feel I'm way over my head in talking to these folks. Like to me, when talking to
Hmm.
Jimmy Star next Wednesday, I feel that way right now. I feel like way over my head because I got to come up with some questions that are going to make make the interview interesting because he's done thousands of interviews, thousands. I've done a few hundred, but he's done it with a whole hell of a lot more heavy hitters than I have. And to me, the pressure is to come on to make the conversation interesting for 75 minutes. That's a lot of
Hmm.
pressure to put on. So I feel that pressure. I have to make that show. I have to make that show work. And
Yeah.
I'm already it's already in my head. Like like I already told him, I'm gonna have to come up with some really good questions for you. I have no idea what I'm gonna ask him. I'm just gonna do what Corin Nemec said to me. Well, that's a bit of a name drop, but but
Mhm.
what Corin Nemec said to me was when I talked to him off camera. I mentioned to him, and I said, I'm going to do my best to make sure I don't ask you any of the same old questions you've heard hundreds of times already. And he goes, I said, you must get tired of that, you know? And he goes, well, there's two ways to look at that. One is, yes, a lot of fans, they come up there, a lot of fans that come up there, they know me in my work. And yes, some of the questions they do ask are a little bit like that, a little bit like redundant. But he also says there's so many more times, many more times than if somebody like 21 or 22 years old, it's their first exposure to me. They don't know me. They don't know the stuff I've
Yeah.
done, and it's like, so when they ask the same questions that maybe you asked, and my movie history and everything else, while it comes across as, yes, it's the same old question when I ask it, but to that young person who's just getting up there and asking it, it's a whole fresh outlook, the whole fresh take on the question because they've
Yeah.
never asked before. So that's how I look at it. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to come up with fresh questions and try to keep it as much entertaining as possible.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I think you do a good job, and I'll be honest with you. Like when I first saw you doing the interviews, I wasn't really into them. Um, because I thought you like just from my point of view, I thought you maybe overtalked the guest a bit too much. But then
yes.
I which is funny because I overtalk people a lot too. But I think you've gotten better with that. And also, I was looking back at him like he wasn't that bad with it. It was just my perception because I've seen people that do it way worse. But I do think you've really grown as an interviewer just from what I've been seeing from my perspective. I think if that means anything, you've gotten really better at it.
I appreciate that because you're absolutely 100% right. I do tend to overtalk. And the thing
But
about it
I
is,
think
it's
you're
not,
better with it now, and I just did it too. I do it too, and two, I kind of had to look at it too. I'm like, are his guests having fun? It seems like they are. So it's like, who am I to really, say that? That's why I wasn't gonna be sitting here writing like you suck, like the blah blah. I wouldn't do that. That's just awful. Because I liked you as a person, but I think you've really grown as an interviewer.
thank you. I appreciate that. Um,
Yeah.
I, you know, I think the only problem, 'cause I've been thinking about this too, because after me and Will talked, and I didn't have anybody come at me at all, but I was thinking about all the shows. I did have one guy get a little hurt, um, because he didn't understand my question. He didn't understand my question, and
Hmm.
I was there to support him. And for some reason, I think he thought I was against him, and
Mm.
he got a little defensive, and I was like, no, 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 I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I don't have. I'm with you. And off the camera, I told that to him again. I said, I wasn't coming at you. I was actually supporting you. Um, you know,
Hmm.
but I think it was more of a case of what he does. When you tell someone like you're a paranormal investigator, I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
that I'm sure people, as soon as you say that to people, they immediately start rolling their eyes. So I think you get sort of defensive about it. Like, what do you do? Well, well, you know, you know, Ghost Hunter. You know, what was that? I'm a Ghost Hunter. You know, instead of you know, I think they're used to people like laugh. You know, I
Yeah.
don't laugh. I don't laugh at all. Um, I want those people take exactly what they do, and who's to say what they've seen or haven't seen. I enjoy talking to them about it. Um, and but that was the only time I could actually think of during live that I've actually had somebody get a little bit upset. But
Yeah.
afterwards we were able to talk it out. Um,
'Cause
but that's it. That's only one time I've actually had that happen.
Yeah, because I will say one thing I like about your interviewing styles, you're always nice to the guests and you always respect them. But like last night, you're not afraid to play a little hardball. You're not afraid to ask questions that might ruffle some feathers. And you do it in a nice way to be like, no, I'm not attacking you or exploiting you. I'm an interviewer. My job is to get the story at the same. You do a good thing between professionalism and just hanging out. I feel you do a bit of
I
both, and I like that
I
because I
I
don't like it when it
I
can be
I
a bit much when it's too professional, and it can be a bit much if it's too relaxed. I think you found a great balance.
I like asking. I told him before the show. I said we're gonna chop it up. I'm gonna ask you some tough questions. And he said, no
Hmm.
problem. I said, okay, I want you to know that. I'm telling you this right off the bat. I'm going to ask you some tough questions. And he said, no problem. So, he was great. He was a great guest. I think he's
Yeah.
fantastic. And he himself answered a lot of questions, without naming names. I don't mind naming names, like the two or three directors I can't stand. I admit a Trenchy. I drop their names all the time because I don't think they're very good.
Yeah.
I do think they do. I think they hurt people. I think they
Hmm.
hurt people. And I just don't like that. I don't feel like it's fair. It's like you're in a position where, and I really don't like when Will's talking about some of the directors that will, really exploit the actresses. I mean, he's sitting there saying he sees that a lot. That bothers the hell out of me. To see that, to hear that. Um, but no,
Hmm.
I won't afraid to. I mean, I won't be afraid to ask any questions. Um, I think the one time that I was doing an interview with a director named Matt Eskandari. This is before I got on YouTube, and I was doing 8 questions with through my blog, and he directed a movie called Medical Center or Trauma Center, and it was a Bruce Willis movie for Lionsgate. It had Bruce Willis and Nikki Whalen in it. And I'm watching the movie, and I watched it, and I was like, and it was Bruce Willis came on at the beginning of the movie, and then he came at the end of the movie, and it looked like he was just cruise controlling it again, right? And
Hmm.
so to me, my question was, I asked another director, I said, I'm going to ask him this question, and I said, how do you get someone like Bruce Willis to get out of cruise control? Because he comes across as he's in cruise control in so many of these movies. How's a director? How do you get him out there and motivated? And my friend who says, you're going to ask him that? Are you going to ask Matt that question? I said, yes. He says he won't answer that. He's not gonna answer that at all. In fact, I don't know if you'll hear from him again. I think he's going to probably tell you to jump off the cliff. So I
Hmm.
said, well, I'm going to ask it anyway. And I did. And I asked him the question, and he answered it. Now, well, nobody knew at that time, nobody knew, was that Bruce Willis was in his early stages of his disease.
Yeah.
People talk about Bruce Willis movies, like they're like, wow, they're always sitting there saying he's doing all these movies, and it's just a cash grab. I mean, he was doing 3 or 4 movies a month that are coming out at the video store. You know, he'll be in the first part of the movie. They sell him on the cover. Bruce Willis, they have him on the cover, and then you buy the
Hmm.
movie, and he's in there for like 10, 15 minutes. And I think looking back at that, I felt the reason why he was doing that, it was the cash grab. He was trying to provide for his family. I think he
Yeah.
knew. I think he knew back then before it took over. I think he knew that he was sick. I think he had already, he had already went and had tests done or whatever. He knew that he was having problems. So he wanted to get as many movies as he could possibly get in under to make that money for his family. That's what I think.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
But
and
back
he's not
then,
the only one that has done that. There are plenty of other actors that have done that too. Like Cage. What I hear, I haven't seen really any of his movies, but Seagal has done that. Like Seagal's made a career. From what I've heard is just he'll just sit in a chair and that's the movie. He's there in his chair.
yeah, yeah, and the fight scenes for Steven Seagal. Oh my God, they're so fucking funny to watch. You can definitely tell it's a stunt man. I will say this for Steven Seagal, he still has his fast hands. His hands are still very fast. But before it's like you walked up to him and you want to throw down with him. Um, if he could get his hands on you, you could be in trouble. Now it's like he's got to get his hands on you, and you can just step. If you could go nose to nose with him. He says, "I'll kick your ass." And if you just jump back a couple of feet, you sit there and say, "You have to catch me first, motherfucker." Or if you really wanted to distract him from beating you up, just throw him a box of donuts. That always, but yeah, Steven Seagal movies, they're horrible for that. It's obvious that they're a stunt man, the wig, it's just terrible. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
know he used to be good. I hear, which I do want to give him a chance, but I haven't really seen many of his movies. I've more seen like Van Damme and stuff like that, which I
I
like
think
Van Damme.
the oh my God. So I think one of the funniest things I've ever saw was on Deadly Ground. So Steven
Mm.
Seagal he plays this firefighter, this convention. He plays this, for oil company. He's a troubleshooter. He goes around fixes all their fires, and so his character has a coming to Jesus moment. Instead of hurting the earth, Mother Earth, I'm gonna save it, and he's gonna save it by destroying the oil company that he worked for. So he's doing, him and his girl Friday, they hit the oil well to destroy it. And there's this part where there's this leader of this mercenary team comes in there to get him. His name's Forrest. And he says, "Well, this guy is this." He gives all this guy's recommendations, accommodations. This guy's he's like a silent snake. You'll never see him coming. He's a decorated special forces soldier. He's done this. He's done that. Right? He gives a speech of building up Steven Seagal's character. The actor doing that was R.L. Ermey, who actually did that fucking shit. He was a gunnery sergeant. He trained Marines.
Hmm.
That's what he did. He was the badass he was describing for the most part. He was describing himself, and it really
Yeah.
pissed me off when I sit there and watching him. I'm like, why are you having Ermey give that speech? Ermey's a fucking soldier. He's done that shit. He's trained men to go into combat. I mean, he's not pretending. He's done it. And it's like,
No,
wow,
Ermey's one of the. Him and Christopher Lee were like the real ones.
yes. And Dale Dye, also a real one, a real G. Audie Murphy was a real one. Um, God, they used to show that movie a lot when I was a kid, called The Hell and Back, and I actually found a copy at the library. It was because Audie Murphy was the most decorated soldier in World War II, and they
Hmm.
basically made his life story. For the most part, I mean, there's a couple of embellishments, but he played himself basically in that movie, and his career was just absolutely amazing. He saved so many lives, took a lot too. I don't know. I'm not sure if he saved more lives or took more lives, because he killed an awful lot of fucking Germans. He killed a lot of Germans. Um, I think during one engagement, he took on his tank got hit and started burning, and he fought it off with a machine gun. and they say I think they said it was like between 40 to 44 German soldiers were dead around this tank that he killed in one combat. Audie Murphy. Now that's a guy who if you're gonna make up a movie speech about, that's the guy you're gonna make the movie speech about. You're not gonna have him talk about some guy like Steven Seagal and put his career on him and sit there and say, yeah, this guy's like the best. He's the most deadliest thing since botulism. It just made me, when I watched that in the theater, I was sitting there shaking my head and going like, why is Ermy giving this guy this speech? It was very I found it really insulting, quite honestly.
Hmm. Arlie Ermy was a great actor too.
Yeah, he was. Who knew? And the part I think he's hilarious in, absolutely hilarious in, was Saving Silverman.
Oh
Oh my,
yeah, I've seen that one. Yes, the coach.
yeah, the gay coach. Oh my God,
Yeah.
it was hilarious. Oh my, it was so against Ermy, and it worked so awesome. It's like, and then he did horror. He did Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think
Yes.
he played and then he ended up doing the Frighteners. I
The
mean,
Frighteners. He did
yeah,
the Watch. He had a small thing in the Watch where he pretty much played himself. He does a little thing. He's
he was.
great in like every movie he's in. He's one of he's like Dick Miller or one of those guys. He's great.
Um, and of course, the one where everyone said he should have got at least a nomination for, and I agree with that, was a Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, of
My God,
course.
yeah. I mean, Full Metal Jacket. That was 100% Ermy. That was not acting at all. That was just Ermy. It's like, and yeah, amazing performance. Amazing. Everybody in I like that movie. I like the first half more than I like the second half of it. I like the
The
training
boot
camp
camp.
more. The boot
Hmm.
camp was something else. Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio. Um,
Yes.
there's a scene where Ermy slaps him. If you look at, they said, if you look at the scene, he slaps him. He slaps him hard, and he says if you look at the soldier behind him, he barely contains not laughing because he wasn't expecting that to be that hard, and so when he did, it caused that nervous reaction. He almost lost it. He almost laughed, and I was like, I can understand that. I'm sitting there watching it too, and knowing full well that he slapped the shit out of him. I'm still laughing at it because I was like not expecting it. Like I was expecting it,
Mhm.
but I still laughed at it because I'm like, I can't believe he actually did it. Like, okay, I'm gonna hit you for real. Okay, what does that mean? You'll see. Action. Pow. What the fuck?
Jesus.
Yeah, I was watching this is the shit that comes through the feed, right? So they came up with a soap opera, and they said the slaps of 2020 2025 on a soap opera. And so I said, oh shit, so I turned it on to see. Dude, it looked like every one of those slaps was legit. It like they put some flesh on flesh. Like it wasn't just one of those. Psh, it was like stung. Like, okay, I want you to really hit me. Like, I don't know if they did or not, but good lord, I mean, there was some heat in those slaps. It wasn't controlled mayhem. You know, it was like pow. And I was like, damn.
Mhm.
And I'm looking to see if there's a handprint on the side of the face. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Some of
Oh,
those slaps are crazy because one of my favorite movies, Alpha Dog. I was watching a little interview with Sharon Stone. She's in it, and she had this part where she's with Ben Foster. I won't give it away, but she has to hit him, and then they're like hit him hard, and she had to do it a bunch of times. She ended up making his nose bleed, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I got really into character and emotional," and he's like, "Look, it's fine. What we're doing here is more important than this. Like what we're making movie magic. Like I'm fine with it. I can take it."
yeah, it was definitely different to see that because before it slaps always looked cheesy. You know, they always knew it was a fake and everything else. But you know, there has been more and more cases where, you know, they actually slap. You know, they'll go to the partner and they'll sit there and say, "I want you to really hit me." Like I think I don't know if Vincent D'Onofrio knew that was coming, but I know
Yeah.
that he probably would have, you know, he probably would have said to do it. He says, "I want you to slowly slap me." I would have been careful before saying that. You know, even if you are a method actor like he is, I still would have been very careful about saying that. Maybe not saying that because, you know, yeah, that's just me, of course. But yeah, that was interesting. But the speech on Deadly Ground, and actually, believe it or not, on Deadly Ground wasn't that bad. It was all right. Um, but it was the first time that I ever noticed that Steven Seagal always did one thing, and this is because I know I say this because this is the first time that I watched one of his movies where I noticed it. Where I noticed it. Um, Steven Seagal always fights people smaller than he is. Oh my gosh! You go and watch his movies. Everybody he fights is smaller. I mean, he's throwing around these guys like 150-pound guys all over the room. I mean, it's like he doesn't fight anybody his size. Um, there was a scene on Deadly Ground where he fought he had this scene with Mike Starr. Mike Starr is a pretty big dude. He's pretty beefy. Um, and that's the first time I noticed, like, you know, that's the first time I've ever seen him fight anybody his size. And then I went back and looked at other movies, and sure shit enough, they're all fucking smaller than he is. I mean, noticeably smaller.
Yeah. Wh-
And it's like,
Which is weird because usually in the action movies you have like especially hand to hand combat. You got the one scene where you bring in the huge guy, usually like a Russian or something. You bring in the huge guy, and it's like, oh, the spectacle. Can this guy that's really good at fighting beat this like shit brick house? Can he do it?
hmm.
That was a trope.
Yeah, it was just his movies were so goofy. I mean, they're so goofy. They had this one scene in Alfred Justice, and he's fighting this little tiny guy, and he ends up using a bowling a pool a pool a billiards ball, and he hits this guy in the mouth, and the guy hits him in the mouth. The guy gets up, his mouth is all bleeding, and he goes, "You busted up my teeth. You broke my teeth." Yeah, that would be like a tremendously quick run to the ER. No, he gets
Hmm.
knocked down again. He gets knocked down again. And then later on, he joins his crew, joins the main guy's bad guy crew. Then they show him at a house partying with the same crew. I thought you said the guy lost his teeth because there's no fucking way he's hanging with anybody other than a dental surgeon after having his teeth hit with a cue ball. And it's just small shit like that just drives you nuts when you watch the Steven Seagal movie because there's so many plot holes in all his movies. Um, I think the only one I really liked his, like I could watch it because and that was Under Siege. Otherwise, the rest of those movies, I just, Alfred Justice is like, it was okay. I mean, I guess, I thought Under Siege 2 was okay too. Um, but Eric Bogosian, God, he got tiresome quick. That guy ran his
Hmm.
fucking mouth the whole movie. But I like the bad guy. The bad guy was the same guy who was the bad guy in Heartbreak Ridge. Um, he was the same guy. He made a good bad guy, but you could definitely tell that he was not a master Steven Seagal in real life.
Hmm.
No, no, that's when Steven Seagal was skinny and still had his hands and feet. Oh, Trenchy, what time is it? It is. Ooh, damn! It is. Is it really that late?
Oh,
It
my
is
bad.
2 hours.
I mean to run
I
you
didn't.
running
No,
late.
no, no, not at all. Not at all. It's just I thought it was 2 hours and it's been almost three. But I'll tell you what, I'll stay in touch with you. When I'll let
Yeah.
you know this week. I'll write you and see Jerry mentions he used to like yeah, I think we all used to like him until he got really, really, really cringe. I mean, I think people liked his movies, but then his ego started really writing those checks. Um, he did that infamous Saturday Night Live episode that's never been repeated. That's one show you'll never see on repeat. Lauren Michaels did not. NBC and Lauren Michaels did not. Nope. Let's see. He's done some other shit, with the women, all the abuse cases and all the sexual, like, yeah. He's living in. I think he lives in Russia now. Actually,
That tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I tell you what, that'll be it. I'll be back tomorrow. I didn't know this, but I'll be back tomorrow night at 8:00 with John from Doomsday Crypt, visual effects master Joe Castro, and actor Danny Hassel, one of the stars of Nightmare on Elm Street episodes 4 and 5. We'll be here chopping it up on Any Questions With. And then next week we have 3 shows. On the 10th, we have Andrea Garces Lopez, Frank Merrill, and Khalil Neal will be here on the 12th. And on the 18th, we have Diane Cameron Elam. And that's the one I'm going to have to come up with some seriously good questions for. I'm going to be really hard pressed for that one. This woman here has so many accomplishments. It blows my mind. I'm going to have to come up with some really good ones. She's going to be fascinating to talk to. She's accomplished so much in her career, and she helps out a lot of people. She's also, what I really want to talk to her about is that she is a living historian, which means that she can tell other people's stories. You tell her stories, and she passes them on. And that's we're losing 1,000 veterans of World War II a day, and all those people are, once they're dead, without hearing their story, those stories are lost. So I'm looking forward to talking to Diane Cameron at Elam, and that'll be on the 18th of June. I got other stuff in the works too. I don't know what they are yet, but we'll do something. We'll do something. We got let's see. I think tomorrow we're doing. Thursday we're doing me and Larry the Cat Dad. What do we do? We're doing something. I'll tell you what we're doing. Let's see. Let me pop this out here. Lee Wright. See, my calendar is so big now. It's like, what are you doing again? Let's see. Oh God, I forgot about Owen. Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, I got Owen coming in. Owen Llewellyn coming back in. We will be talking about. Wow, what are we talking about? Where is it? A question. Let's see. Oh, that's right. I keep on pressing the wrong buttons. Let's see. We're doing a Good Witch on Thursday. That's what we're doing. We're doing the Good Witch on Thursday, and tomorrow we're going to be recording Magnum PI, and that'll probably be on next Sunday. All right, that's it for us. Thanks for coming out, and we'll see you tomorrow night with the Doomsday Crypt Army. Stay salty, and thanks for your support. And we will talk to you tomorrow night. Have a great night.
Stay frosty.
Let's see.